stand up here? Come on. Hi, everyone. Hi. Do you guys want to come sit on stage? Do not touch the microphone. Do you want to come sit on stage?
Judging it to read stories.
You ready? Okay, here, sit down. Okay. Hi, hello. Hi. So we're so excited to be here and for everyone, and I think people are going to keep rolling in today. Hi. Billie Jean, Delilah, you guys want to come on stage? You're going to sit up on stage? So, okay, hello. Okay, so we're so excited you guys are here, the best faces of the best people we know, and we are just getting ready for an event with one of our favorite authors, Adam Gidwitz.
Yes, Adam has won so many awards. Each of my children have been so lucky to get to hear him tell stories at school. Adam Gidwitz is the best-selling author of A Tale Dark and Grim, In a Glass Grimly, and The Grim Conclusion. Oh, hey, James. Look at this.
Look at these cuties.
He won the Newbery Honor Award for his book, The Inquisitor's Tale, and he is the creator of the #1 podcast for kids.
Yes.
Grim, Grimmer, Grimmest, which everybody can get a subscription to for free if you pick up a little card on the table. So
yes.
You can also watch it on Netflix. So, you know, he's busy.
Yeah, he is. So we're going to invite Adam Gidwitz onto the stage to read Herschel and the Hanukkah Goblin.
Are you so excited?
Okay, come on, Adam.
What? Here he is. Oh,
hello. Okay. Adam?
This is perfect. You guys look great. Hi, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to tell you a story that is from a book, but I'm not going to read you a book. So what I like to do is I like to tell stories. I like to tell stories that are funny, that are weird, sometimes that are a little bit scary. So if I get to a point in the story that I'm telling tonight that you don't want to hear, if you feel a little creeped out or a little scared, a little freaked out, then this is what you can do. You can take 2 fingers. Everybody show me 2 fingers. Hold on, let me see them. You can close your ears, and you can look in your lap. And you can count to 5 or to 10, and by the time you're finished counting, I'll be done with the scary, creepy part, and we'll be good to go. But it's important that you know that you can do that so that you feel comfortable, okay? All right? Also, that way your parents can't sue me later, all right? Great. So, I'm going to tell a story that some of you might have heard before. In fact, I know a couple of you have heard this story before. But when I tell the story, I tell it in my own way. I'm a storyteller. So I'm going to tell a story by the wonderful writer, Eric Kimmel. He wrote this story. And it is called Herschel and the Hanukkah Goblins. Now, tomorrow is the first night of Hanukkah. Some of you might know what that is. Some of you might not know what that is. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. I'm also going to ask you a couple questions to see what you know about it before I actually get into the story, okay? So Hanukkah happens every wintertime around the holiday season. And Amos, I want you to talk when I call on you, okay, buddy? Okay. So Hanukkah, we light a menorah. We light candles in the menorah. We light 1 candle every night of Hanukkah. Raise your hand if you know how many nights of Hanukkah there are. James, 8 nights of Hanukkah is exactly right. But we don't light 8 candles, which is weird. How many candles do we light, Clara? 9. Why do we light 9 candles when there's only 8 nights of Hanukkah? I don't understand. Can you explain it? Why? That's exactly right. So each night of Hanukkah, we light 1 more candle. But we always use the helper candle, the shamash, to light the other ones. That's exactly right. So you're going to need to know that for our story. One more thing that you're going to need to know for our story. There is a game that is sometimes played on Hanukkah called, what? Dreidel, exactly right. You knew that. And I need to teach you the rules of dreidel so you understand something that happens in the story, okay? So what happens is everybody has some either gold or pretend gold like this called gelt, which is made of chocolate. If you want this later, maybe I'll share it with you. Maybe, if you're good. We'll see. And what you do is, before you spin, you put some gold in the middle. And then you spin the dreidel. And if the dreidel lands on Gimel, you get everything. If it lands on Hay, you get half of the gold in the middle. If it lands on Shin, you put one in. Shin, Shin, you put one in. You don't want Shin. And if it lands on Nun, you get nothing. Exactly. Lands on Nun, you get none. All right, those are the rules. All right? Okay. We'll come back to this later. But first, let's get started with the story. Once upon a time, 100 years ago or more, in a faraway land called Europe, there lived a man named Herschel. Herschel was a poor man. He wandered from village to village, and he would be taken in by nice people, and they would feed him dinner, and he would tell stories and jokes, and they would laugh with him. And then, after a day or two, he would move on to the next village. But whenever Herschel traveled, he always knew that every year, come Hanukkah time, he would be going home. Herschel was from Ostropol, and everybody in Europe knew that Ostropol was the best place to celebrate Hanukkah. Everyone put menorahs in their windows. Everyone cooked fried up latkes, which are potato pancakes, which were sweet and which were oily and salty and delicious. And everyone played dreidel late into the night and sang songs. Herschel was always so excited to get back to Ostropol for Hanukkah. But this year, when Herschel walked into Ostropol, there were no menorahs in the windows. He could hear no songs. He could smell no latkes frying. What's going on? Thought Herschel. So he went to the house of the rabbi. The rabbi was the leader of the Jewish community in Ostropol. And Herschel said to the rabbi, "Rabbi, why are we not celebrating Hanukkah this year?" And the rabbi said, "Herschel, haven't you heard? We can't celebrate Hanukkah in Ostropol. Never again." "What?" said Herschel. "What are you talking about? Why?" And the rabbi said, "Because of the goblins." "The what?" said Herschel. "The goblins," said the rabbi. "What are you talking about?" "Well," said the rabbi, "up in the synagogue on the hill." And Herschel looked up, and up on top of the hill was a little old synagogue building. "Goblins have come, and there they stay. And they have said that we cannot celebrate Hanukkah." "What? That's terrible," said Herschel. "I'll just kick them out." "You can't. It's impossible. Besides, the only way to get rid of the Hanukkah's goblins, the goblins in the synagogue, is to spend every night of Hanukkah in the haunted synagogue." "I'll do that," said Herschel. "Slow down," said the rabbi. "Every night you have to spend in the synagogue, and on the final night of Hanukkah, the king of the goblins himself will come. And the only way to get the goblins out of the synagogue is if you get the king of the goblins himself to light the candles on the menorah." "No problem," said Herschel. The rabbi said, "Herschel, you'll die. They'll kill you for sure." "Not me," said Herschel. "I only need a couple things, and I'll head up there and spend all 8 nights of Hanukkah in the synagogue with the goblins. I need a jar of pickles, some hard-boiled eggs, and some matches and candles to light the menorah. Oh, and a dreidel." So the rabbi gave him those things, and Herschel tramped up the hill through the howling winds to the synagogue at the top of the hill. And there he sat, and Hanukkah begins as sundown comes. And so he set out his menorah, getting ready for the first night of Hanukkah. And he put the shamash, the helper candle, in the middle, and he put the first candle for the first night of Hanukkah where it goes. But he didn't light them quite yet. He waited until the sun was just about to fall, and then as the sun was disappearing behind the hills, he took a match and went to light the shamash, the helper candle, when he heard, "Hey! What do you think you're doing?" And Herschel looked around, and there he saw a tiny little goblin. And this goblin was weird looking, very weird looking. I'm gonna need your help. Who can come up with one detail about how you think this weird little goblin looked? Yes. He was hairy. He was little bitty, he had hair sprouting out, all a lot of hair sticking out of his ears and his nose, hair all over his body. What else? Yeah, he was very skinny, hairy and skinny, like my Uncle Rick. Yeah. And he had a very funny face. Give me a detail about his funny face. What was so funny about that face? It was shaped like a pear. Exactly right. So, the last one. Yes, okay, what, like a triangle and a square? Okay, right. So, there was this little goblin there. He was skinny and hairy, and he had a funny face shaped like a pear. One eye looked like a square, and the other one like a triangle. And he said, what do you think you're doing? And Herschel said, I'm lighting Hanukkah candles. What does it look like? And he says, oh, no, you're not. The goblins are here, and we're gonna stop you. And Herschel said, where? And the goblin said, right here. I'm here right now. And Herschel said, you're gonna stop me, you little pipsqueak? And he says, I might be little, but I'm strong. Stronger than me? Said Herschel. Way stronger than you, said the little goblin. And Herschel said, are you strong enough that you can crush rocks in your bare hands? What? Said the little hairy goblin. Nobody can do that. I can, said Herschel. Look. And in the falling light, as the sun was setting, he took one of the hard-boiled eggs that the rabbi had given him, and he held it in his hand, and it looked just like a rock in the darkness. And he said, if you try to stop me from lighting these Hanukkah candles, I'm going to squeeze you like this. And the yolk ran between his fingers and down his fist. And the goblin said, no, don't hurt me! And he said, all right, I might not be big enough to stop you, but more goblins, much bigger and scarier than me, are coming on the following nights. You better not be here tomorrow. And poof, the goblin disappeared. And Herschel lit the shamash and used it to light the candle for the first night of Hanukkah. The next day, he waited all day until night fell, and he took out another candle so that he had two, one for each night of Hanukkah, but he didn't light them yet. He sat there, opened up his jar of pickles, and started to eat his pickle dinner when he heard, what you eatin'? He looked, and he saw over in the corner a big, fat goblin. This goblin was weirder looking than the first one. This goblin, all right, who can help me? Give me a detail about what this goblin looks like. Yes, please join us on stage. Okay, who can give me one, Seraphine, stay right where you are. One detail about this big, fat goblin. Clara, go ahead. Oh, yes. He's a big, fat goblin with 10 eyes, and... Yes, his feet look like piles of poop. It's disgusting, and I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. Yes. And he, 30 legs. Ooh, are they like tiny little legs that come out all over his body? Yeah, and each one, the foot looks like it's a pile of poop. It's awful. It's disgusting. All right, so this disgusting 10-eyed goblin with 30 legs and feet like poop sticking out all over his body says, what you eatin'? And Herschel says, what, these? Yeah, they look good, said the goblin. Oh, these are pickles, said Herschel. Would you like some? Oh, pickles. I love pickles, said the goblin. Herschel said, here, take all the pickles you want. The goblin snatched the jar, and he reached his big hand into the pickle jar, and he grabbed all the pickles, and he hey, said the goblin, you tricked me. I'm trapped. That's right, said Herschel. I tricked you. I trapped you. I put a magical spell on that jar of pickles, and you'll never get your hand out. No, said the goblin. Oh, yes, said Herschel. And he turned, and he took out his matches, and he says, and you can sit there and watch me light the Hanukkah candles with your hand in the jar of pickles. He lit the shamash, he lit the first candle and the second candle. He said the prayers. The goblin was begging, please, please, I hate Hanukkah. Let me out, let me out. And Herschel said, all right, should I tell you a secret? What? Said the goblin. I don't know any magic spells. What? Said the goblin. Why is my hand stuck? Because you're holding all the pickles, said Herschel. Let go. The goblin let go, and his hand slid out of the jar. You tricked me, he said, and he stamped his foot so hard he went flying out the window. The next day, Herschel relaxed in the synagogue until night started to fall, and he got the third candle ready. But he didn't like them. He started playing with the dreidel. And we remember how dreidel works, right? If you spin a gimel, then you get everything. If you spin a hay, you get half. If you spin a shin, you got to put one in. And if you spin a nun, you get nothing. That's right. So he was spinning the dreidel, and then he heard a voice. Hey, what you doing? And he turned, and he saw another goblin there. This goblin looked different. What? Tell me, help me. Give me a detail. Yes? 100 what eyeballs? 102 eyeballs. He had 102 eyeballs. Some of them were in his head. Others kind of stick out like boing, boing, boing on top of his head. Yeah? Okay, he had horns shaped kind of like coffee mugs. They were round inside and kind of almost like they had handles. They were horns, but strangely coffee mug reminiscent. And this goblin said, you want more? Yeah, go ahead. Yes, and he needed to clip his toenails. They were disgusting. Well, this goblin with the disgusting toenails and the coffee mug horns and the eyeballs all over his body, including the ones on top of his head that went boing, 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 said, what you doing? And Herschel said, oh, I'm playing dreidel. What's that? Said the goblin. Are you telling me you've never played dreidel? Said Herschel. No. I don't know if you would like it. It's a game, and you bet money. Oh, said the goblin. I like money. Goblins love money, turns out. Herschel says, well, if you have some money, we could play. The goblin reaches into one of his coffee mug horns, and he pulls out a huge pie, a huge handful of gold coins, and he drops them on the table, and he says, is this enough? Herschel says, you got any in your other horn? Yeah. He reaches into his other horn and takes out another big handful of golden coins, puts it down on the table, and he says, how about now? And Herschel says, yeah, that's enough. All right, says Herschel, this is how you play. You spin the dreidel, and if it lands on shin, you got to put one in. If it lands on hay, you got to give me half of your gold. Is that right? And if it lands on gimel, you have to give me all of your gold. The goblin said, what does this last one do? Oh, nun. If it lands on nun, I give you nothing. Okay, said the goblin, let's play. So, Herschel gave him the dreidel, and he spun the dreidel, and it landed on shin. Bad luck, said Herschel. You got to put a gold in. The goblin puts a gold in the middle. Spin it again, says Herschel. Maybe you'll have better luck now. The goblin spun the dreidel again. Hay came up. Ah, bad luck, said Herschel. You got to give me half your gold. The goblin didn't like that at all, but he took half of his gold and he pushed it into the middle. One more spin, said Herschel. Your luck is bound to change. The goblin spun the dreidel, and it spun and spun and spun and landed on gimel. Oh, such bad luck for you, said Herschel. You got to give me all of your gold now. What? You spin it, said the goblin as he pushed all the gold towards Herschel. All right, said Herschel. He spun, and it spun, and spun, and spun, and the dreidel landed on none. Bad luck for you, said Herschel. I don't got to give you anything. But if you get some more gold, we could play again. I don't want to play again, said the Goblin. I hate this game, I hate you, and I hate Hanukkah. And he smashed his foot so hard into the ground that he shattered into 1,000 pieces. And Herschel lit the 3 candles for the 3 nights of Hanukkah. Each night, more goblins came. And each goblin was weirder and more terrifying looking than the next one. Who can give me one detail about another goblin? Yes.
His hair looked like a pile of
Let's keep it clean.
balls.
Yes, of balls, like rubber balls. Yes. Well, go. So that was one goblin. What's another goblin? Okay, okay, we got a lot of scatological goblins coming in here. The goblins are scatological. I get that. Yes, they're all poopy. Mm-hmm.
Its middle finger was so
Okay, it looked like he was pointing his middle finger at you all the time. All right, so these are really, really risque goblins here. So anyway, 6 nights go by, and finally it's the 7th night of Hanukkah. And Herschel is waiting for whatever terrible goblin is going to show up this time. And then the windows of the synagogue start to shake, and the earth starts to tremble. And Herschel hears, Herschel of Ostropol. Herschel sits straight up. Hello? He says. I am coming. Who's this? Said Herschel. It is I, the king of the goblins. What? Said Herschel. You're early. You're not supposed to come until the 8th night of Hanukkah. Oh, I have not arrived yet. I am on the other side of the earth, but I can see you, and I am coming for you. Herschel lit the 7th Hanukkah candle, but his hands were trembling as he did. He knew that the king of the goblins was coming on the 8th night of Hanukkah, and he did not know what he could possibly do to stop him. That night, he had an uneasy sleep on the floor of the synagogue. And when he woke up in the morning, he had an idea. It wasn't a very good idea. He didn't think it was going to work, but it was the only one he had. He put the 8th candle for the 8th night of Hanukkah in the menorah, and he put the menorah next to the door, and he extinguished all the other lights in the synagogue. And he sat at the far end of the synagogue, and he waited in the darkness. The wind howled. Rain started. Suddenly there was lightning in the distance. And then the windows began to rattle, and the floor began to tremble, and the walls began to shake. Herschel of Ostropol. Yes, said Herschel. It is I, the king of the goblins. I don't think so, said Herschel. What? Said the king of the goblins. It's just some kids from the village. You're trying to scare me. You've been doing it every night. It's not going to work this time, let me tell you. I am not some kids from the village, said the king of the goblins. I am the king of the goblins. I will tear this synagogue down to its foundations. I will tear you limb from limb. Give me a break, said Herschel. If you're the king of the goblins, show yourself. Bam! The door flew open, and standing in the doorway was a tallest, most hideous silhouette of a figure that Herschel had ever seen. It had long claws for fingers. It had muscles bulging all over its body. Its head was so tall it was beyond the door frame. Like I thought, said Herschel. Just some kids. I am not some kids, said the king of the goblins. Oh, yeah, really? Then why don't you light a candle or two so I can see you? Come on inside. The king of the goblins ducked his head inside the door of the synagogue, and Herschel's blood ran cold. On top of his head were snakes writhing in a terrible, like, nightmare of a dance. His eyes were two long red slits. He had no nose, and his mouth looked like snakes' fangs, but hundreds of them. Herschel nearly fainted, but he said, "Why don't you light a candle if you're really the king of the goblins? Let me see who you are." "You shall see," said the king of the goblins. Tss. He lit a match and lit the shamash. "Nope, still too dark," said Herschel. "Can't see you." He lit another candle. "Nope." Another candle. "You look maybe like a goat. Are you a goat?" "I am not a goat," said the king of the goblins. He lit another candle, another candle. "No, you're too big for a goat. Maybe a cow." "I am not a cow," he said. Each candle he lit, Herschel could see more and more. His skin was pink but translucent. You could see through it, straight through to the black bones inside of his pink skin. Herschel nearly fell on the ground, but he managed to watch and look and not look away. And finally, the king of the goblins lit the 8th candle, and he said, "Do you see who I am now?" And Herschel said, "Well, you're not my mother, that's for sure." "Very funny," said the king of the goblins. "Nice joke, it will be your last." But Herschel said, "I don't think so. How about you get out of there, or I'm going to kick you in the pants so hard you're going to taste my shoes tomorrow morning." And the king of the goblins said, "How dare you? I will tear you limb from limb." And Herschel said, "You'll do no such thing. You have no power here. You lit all of the Hanukkah candles yourself. Now go." And he said, "Boo!" And poof! The king of the goblins turned into a big smoke mist, and he said, "No!" And as he did, he rose up into the air, and the walls of the synagogue fell down, and the roof flew off and was carried away by a tornado. And the winds and the rain picked up around Herschel, swirling all around him. And finally, everything fell still. The synagogue was gone. The king of the goblins was gone. But standing next to Herschel was the little table with the menorah and all 9 candles burning brightly. Herschel walked down the hill into the little village of Osterpol, where every house had a menorah shining in the windows, and he could hear songs sung, the sound of dreidels spinning, and he could smell the warm, oily smell of latkes. The end. That is the end of Herschel and the Hanukkah Goblins. Thank you. So I did not make up that story. That comes from this wonderful book by Eric Kimmel, illustrated by Trina Schardt-Hyman, called Herschel and the Hanukkah Goblins. I love it, and I'm so glad that I got to share it with you the day before the first night of Hanukkah. Thank you guys so much for being such a great audience. It was a total pleasure to talk to you guys. All right. I think we will invite the kids to go back to your seats, and I'm going to turn it over to the amazing hosts of Mashup Americans. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh, thank you, Adam.
It's my pleasure.
What a joy. Okay, Amos. Oh, no, you can't have one right now. Okay. Thank you all for being here. I'm Rebecca.
I'm Amy.
Yes, and we're the Mashup Americans, and we're so excited about our book festival today. So thank you for launching this with us. We love books, obsessive books. We're obsessed.
Big time book lovers.
Big time book lovers, TM. And we have programming from now until 8 p.m. This incredible story from Adam Gidwitz, Newbery Award winning. Also, fellow parent at school with Amy's kids. And
we had a moment where I was like, oh no, Adam's famous.
He's famous, so, and what a terrific storyteller. We also have, following this, we have an interactive presentation with Vashti Harrison, who's going to come out and tell a story, and we have stuff, paper and crayons on the tables for everyone to draw with while it's happening. And then we have best-selling author Eric Kim of the New York Times Cooking at 5:30. There's also a ticketed event at 7 p.m. with Jacqueline Woodson, Jeff Chang, and Julia Stiles. And there's lots to buy outside of books. Your Hanukkah will be resplendent. It will be full of all the books of our dreams and all these beautiful like trinkets and things you can buy. And we want to thank you especially to Sari Lehrer for her work curating the kids programming today and all the kids books you'll see for sale. And hello to the kids of Arts and Letters and of Atwater Avenue Elementary School in Los Angeles. Okay, so with that,
You said all the things.
I did it. You see
Oh
that?
my God,
That's
yes.
what that script does.
We are bringing up Vashti Harrison. She's incredible. She's going to draw with us. And oh, look, everybody's already drawing, so yay.
Okay, so we're absolutely delighted to have Vashti Harrison here sharing her magnificent talents and generous spirit with us as we celebrate mashup storytelling and her own mashup of beautiful words and illustrations. Vashti Harrison is an illustrator and filmmaker and the author of several New York Times bestsellers, including National Book Award finalist Big, Little Leaders, Bold Women in Black History, Little Dreamers, Visionary Women Around the World, and Little Legends, Exceptional Men in Black History. So welcome, Vashti Harrison.
Yay! Hi.
Okay, welcome. You can set yourself. I can trade this back. A little menorah. Here, move that for you. Okay.
All right, hi everybody. How's everyone doing? This is going to be interactive, so you can say hi. Oh, hi. So today I'm just going to share a little bit about myself, talk a little bit about the work that I do as an author and illustrator of children's books. I'm going to read my new book to you, and then we'll do a little drawing demonstration. Does anyone here like to draw? Okay, good. Does anyone here like to read? Okay, even better. So that means I'm in the right place. So just to begin, I'm going to tell you who I am. I'm Vashti. I'm an author and an illustrator and a filmmaker. All that really means is I love telling stories. I love mixing those stories together with pictures. Sometimes I'll come up with ideas and think, that would make a really great book. Other times I'll come up with ideas and think, that would make a really great movie. I really just love learning as many tools as possible to be able to communicate and share stories with other people. And these days, I get to do that through the art that I do for the books that I illustrate. My story starts with this little girl. This is me when I'm probably, I don't know, in the 3rd or 4th grade. Can anyone tell what I'm doing in this picture? My favorite thing in the world. Actually, it's a trick question. I'm doing 2 things in this picture. My favorite thing in the world and my least favorite thing in the world. Does anyone know what my favorite thing in the world is? Drawing. What's my least favorite thing in the world? Yes, exactly. You got it. Look at the face that I'm giving the camera. I'm saying, let me color my menu. I think it's a Red Lobster menu. Let me color my Red Lobster menu in peace, please. Yes, I've always loved drawing. I love drawing kids going on adventures. I love switching up my style, trying to make it look like sometimes like an animated movie, other times more like a painting. I really love drawing kids going on adventures, doing things that I couldn't normally do, like ride skateboards or, you know, go on adventures in the forest. But I love to kind of infuse wonder and magic into my artwork. I love to try to make it feel like this is a place you want to go to, you want to return to, and I love to put that work into the books that I illustrate to hopefully get young readers to want to keep reading and keep turning the page. So I wanted to show you guys that just so you would have an idea of what I was thinking about as I was trying to tell the story in my book Big, because I wrote and illustrated it. But before that, I want to show you an example of one of my drawings. People always ask me, like, well, how do you even do it? Where does it even start? And I always tell people it's not that complicated. You just have to get started with your drawings. So here's an example. It's going to play pretty fast. I put down a lot of lines. I'm very sketchy with my work. I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm really just trying to capture a feeling, a mood. I go in pretty early with my lighting and my shadow to kind of direct your eye. And I'm really just trying to capture, you know, what it would feel like to be there rather than be too perfect with it. Look how many times I drew her legs. I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And I show you that because there are no rules in drawing. There's no rules in art making. For me, it's just about capturing feelings and emotions, and that's my favorite thing in the world because I don't know if I can always communicate that so clearly with my words, but through art, I can kind of capture how I feel and share that with other people. Here's one more example, because people always ask me, okay, but like, where do you even get your ideas? And I tell people, ideas can come from anywhere, you just have to be open to seeing them. Because, can you guys tell what that's a picture of? Yes, an apple. Why did I show you a picture of an apple? This is my very silly example of how sometimes ideas can come from anywhere. You just have to be open to seeing them. So one day I was working, I took a snack break, and I got myself an apple. I cut it in half, I ate half of it, and I left the other half sitting on my desk, and I thought, you know, that kind of reminds me of something. So I took a picture of it with my iPad, and I started drawing on top. Maybe you guys will be able to see what I saw. You guys know who that is? Yeah, Mike Wazowski from Monsters, Inc. So that's my very silly example of how sometimes ideas can come from anywhere. You just have to be open to seeing them. You might do the same thing when you look up at the clouds and you see an image or a character. I just try to do that all the time in my work. Just try to be open to letting those ideas come. So I'm so lucky that I get to do that for my job. I write and illustrate children's books. Here are a couple of examples of the books I've illustrated. So what's special about this is someone else writes all of the words, and it's my job to draw all of the pictures. But no one tells me what to do. I really get to, I like to think of it a lot like making a movie. So maybe I think of the writer, the author, as maybe our screenwriter, and maybe the publishing company is a bit like a producer, but I'm doing a lot of the jobs. I am casting the characters. I'm deciding what do the characters look like. I'm also designing their costumes. What are they wearing? I also design the sets. Where are we? What do the houses look like? What does the classroom look like? I'm also the cinematographer. What time of day is it? Is it a daytime scene? Is it a nighttime scene? Is it a close-up? Is it a wide shot? I am making all of those creative decisions to make this book feel like this wonderful thing that you want to return to. Here are a couple more examples of some of the books I've illustrated and a few more. And I get to switch up my style a whole lot and try out different techniques and tools. And then these are some of the books that I've written and illustrated. So these are special because they are filled with the true stories of real people in history. And I love sharing other people's stories because it's so inspiring to know who came before us and what's possible and what's out there. And so it's really kind of so fun to just, celebrate other people's stories. But today I'm going to share my story. So this is my book, Big, and a lot of it is inspired by my own childhood. And it's a little bit scary to share your own personal story. And as a young person, I don't know if I always communicated through my words. I definitely used art to help share my feelings. And that's what I wanted to put into this book. So Big tells the story of a young girl who's going through some really, really big feelings, particularly about her body. Has anyone ever felt really, really big feelings that you just didn't know what to do with? Yeah, me too. And this is also a book about the words that we say with one another, how sometimes words can hurt, how sometimes words can be nice and kind and make us feel good. Other times words can hurt. Maybe someone will say something even by accident and not even know it hurt us. Has anyone ever experienced that? Unkind words. This is a book about how to deal with some of those things. So if you guys are ready, I'm going to share the story with you. Now, I'm going to flip through these pages up on this screen, but there's going to be some special moments where we look at the physical copy of the book, so I'm going to switch back and forth. Which is also for sale in the lot. So this is Big, written and illustrated by me, Vashti Harrison. Once there was a girl with a big laugh and a big heart and very big dreams. Can you guys see what it says there on her shirt? Dream big. She learned her ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. She always said please and thank you and even put away all her toys. At dinner, she ate all her food. What a big girl you are, the adults would say. And it was good. She grew and learned and laughed and dreamed and grew and grew and grew. And it was good. Can you guys see some of these words here that are growing as she's growing? What words do you see? Caring, considerate, imaginative, free, fun, smart, creative. So she grew and learned and laughed and dreamed and grew and grew and grew. And it was good. Until it wasn't. So there aren't a whole lot of words in this book, so we're going to look closely at the pictures and try to feel what the character is feeling. Looks like here she is trying on clothes at the dress shop. And here she is. Can you tell who she's with here? Santa. Santa's saying, "You're a big girl, aren't you?" Looks like here she is at school. What do you think her face is saying? You think you can shout it out.
She looks like distressed.
Distressed, yeah. Anyone else? What was that? Doesn't fit in. Nervous. Has anyone ever felt any of those feelings? Yeah, I have. One day, something big happened. Looks like, can you guys tell where she is now? At recess on the playground. Looks like here she is with her friends, and they're going to go play on the swings. Her friends are saying, "I can't wait for the recital. I'm going to be a rose. I'm going to be a daisy." But what's she saying? Oh no. Looks like something's happening. Look, she's stuck. OMG, ha ha ha. Moo, whale. More like moose. And now what's she saying? Help. Not a lot of words on this page. It looks like her teacher's here. She's gonna pull her out. And, oh no. They fell. Teacher saying, "Don't you think you're too big for that? You could have hurt someone. You should know better. Those are for the little kids. You're in big trouble." It made her feel small. The words stung and were hard to shake off. Can you guys see some of those words? Looks like they're kind of stuck to her. She began to feel not herself, out of place, exposed, judged, yet invisible. Everyone had advice, but that kind of hurt too. Looks like her dance instructor is saying, that's no good. Try this instead. Looks like she's changing the color of her costume. I wonder why she would do that. This is perfect for you. Do you think she thinks that's perfect? Can you guys tell what she's dressed as? Looks like she's dressed as a mountain. And what are her friends dressed as? Flowers. They're ballerinas. This is perfect for you. You're just too big. The flower costume won't fit. Where are you going? What did I say? Looks like she's running away now. Not a lot of words left in this book, so we're just going to look closely and try to feel what the character is feeling. Looks like she ran and tried to find a little corner to hide in. Now, it sort of looks like she's growing on the page. She got a little bit bigger and like a little bit bigger. We can really see it when we look at the book. It sort of looks like she's almost kind of stuck on that side of the page. So what do you think is going to happen if she keeps growing? Oh. She fell over. Stuck her and stuck her. And now Looks like she's struggling. What about now? She looks sad, like she's given up. So even in this sad moment, these people are walking by, and what are they saying? Aren't you too big to be crying? Have you tried being smaller? Why can't you just fit in? One day, she finally let it all out. Can you guys tell what she's doing? She's crying. It kind of looks like there's something coming out in her tears, though. What do you see? Words? What color words do you see? Pink? Pink words and black words. So one day she finally let it all out and started to see things more clearly. It looks like she's looking at one of those words there. Which word is she looking at? Big. And which color is big? Pink. That's interesting. It's pink, not black. She started to see things more clearly, and she decided to make more space for herself. How's she going to do that? She's looking at something. We can't quite see it there on the screen, but when we look at the book, she's looking at something. She decided to make more space for herself. And was able to see a way out. Do you guys see the way out? Yep. And it looks like with a little bit more space, she was able to kind of separate out some of those words. Which color words do you see here on the left? And on the right, I see some of those pink words. So she was able to see a way out. And what do you think is going to be on the other side? Pink. Looks like some of those people are there. She's saying something to them. These are yours. They hurt me. What is she handing to them? Some of those unkind words. But it looks like she's holding on to something. The nice words. She's keeping the nice words, and she's handing back those unkind words. These are yours. They hurt me. Not everyone understood or even listened. It's just a joke. It's not that serious. You're too sensitive. Some tried. I didn't mean to hurt you. But they still couldn't see that she was just a girl. I can help you change if you want. But what does she say? No, thank you. I like the way I am. And she was good. And a bunch of other things. What other words do you guys see? I see imaginative, compassionate, smart, gentle, funny, sweet, creative, kind, and good. That is the end. So, if you take a look at the book, the physical copy, I have an author's note in the back where I talk a lot about the thought process behind the book and really what was going through my mind in making it. But I only have a few minutes left, so I want to spend a little time drawing. I want to show you guys how I draw the character. Is that okay? And so I'll get you guys started, and then if you have any questions, you can start thinking about some questions you have for me. In a couple minutes, I'll call on a few of you. So whenever I start sketching, similar to that first ballerina you guys saw, I draw a lot of lines. But whenever I'm drawing anything complicated, I use simple shapes that we all know how to draw. I use circles and squares and triangles. Now, I do a lot of my drawing in pencil, and then I'll go over top of it in marker, or I'll kind of like outline my favorite lines. So we're going to use simple shapes to build our character. So our character's face is a circle, but we can make it kind of like a smushed down circle. Like if you were going to take a ball of Play-Doh, make a perfect circle, and then kind of smush it down a little bit. That's how we make our character's face. So our circle. And then we're going to make a square. It's kind of going off to the side a little bit. This is the body. And then we're going to make some triangles for all of our other limbs. So we've got a triangle here going down, a triangle here going off to the side.
So you turn the paper while you're doing it?
I turn the paper to help myself because it's a lot easier to draw straight up and down than it is to draw to the side. So you can let your tools work for you. So I've got my 4 triangles. Can you guys kind of tell that this is going to be a character with their arms out? Everyone can draw that, right? So this is sort of like our skeleton. Now, I like to see all of my sketch lines, but if you wanted to, you could do this part in pencil and go over top of it in a marker and then erase those pencil lines, or you could work on another sheet of paper and kind of trace over top of them. So our character is going to be looking kind of that way. So I use these kind of grid lines so that I know where the center of the face is. So we're going to put our eyes there. We're going to put a smile. Now, I'm going to go over top. I'm going to add a circle, kind of a half circle, so that I know where the band of her skirt is going to be.
Do you draw most often on the iPad or pencil, like paper? What is your medium usually?
I will draw with whatever I can get my hands on. So if you leave a piece of paper on the table and a crayon, I will draw with it. I am notorious for having every single art supply in the world. But I do tend to work on my iPad a lot because it's mobile. I can move it around and I have every color accessible to me. And all the work I did for this book, I did on the iPad. But I filled up pages of pastels and chalk to create my own textures, and I created my own brushes. So I was able to kind of use it to manipulate it a little bit differently. So my triangles and my squares act as my skeleton, so I use these as a guideline to kind of figure out where my body parts are going to be. So when I use my, so I can use this kind of squiggly line to figure out where the edges of her tutu are going to be. Oh, because they're complicated. It comes with practice, and I will tell you that hands and feet are still some of the hardest things for me to draw. One day it'll feel like you've got it, and the next day it can feel so hard. So I haven't been describing what I'm doing now, but I kind of used my shapes to figure out where my body parts are going to be. So it takes a little bit of a practice to go from step 1 to step 2, but I'm going to outline these so that you guys can see how I can turn this character into something like nice and dimensional. So this is where the part where having 2 pieces of paper really helps. Or, printer paper is pretty thin, so you can see right through it usually. People tend to use a light box sometimes. When I draw hair, I feel like when I was in elementary school, everyone taught how to draw a tree like this. This is exactly how I draw hair, so it's pretty simple. I do, definitely. a lot of animators and artists keep mirrors next to their desks to kind of capture an emotion or the right angles. And sometimes, I don't know, have you ever, like, when you're taking a photo of someone and you say smile, do you realize that sometimes you smile? When I'm drawing a character and trying to capture their emotion, I'll notice that I'm like really like evoking that. So if it's like a sad face, I feel myself making that face. Because I feel like, I don't know, it's a very kind of personal thing to do. Oh, for me, my surprise face is like the classic, like, Jim from The Office, like. Do you guys want to know how I draw hair? Make hair look really good? Yeah. So we can do hair in 3 simple steps. Step number 1, we already know, it's our squiggles. It's our kind of tree-style squiggles. Step number 2 is the letter C. We can draw the letter C over and over and over again, upside down, sideways. And step number 3 sort of looks like the number 3. They are squiggly lines like this. So you can add all those things together and it'll start to look like hair. Step number 1 especially is the most important, and you can take the side of your crayon and do the same gesture, but with like adding a little bit more texture. So I've got some squiggles, a few more. Then I go in with my letter C and kind of carve out some of those shapes.
How long does it typically take you to make a new character or create a new character?
You know, drawing something like this can, you know, be 5 minutes, but if I want to really make it like super refined and perfect colored, it can take a long time, you know, hours. Often I'll start something and then come back to it later because it's great to just give yourself a break from something and come back with fresh eyes. And that third step, the number 3, I just add a few of those to break up that shape, and it starts to really look like hair. You guys see it? Is it working for you? Okay.
Draw my hair.
Do you have any characters that you go back to all the time or that you never go back to? Like they were part of a time of life that...
You know, I think I just have different stages or phases. You know, I think I tend to draw a lot of the same kind of character these days, which are like young children, typically girls. But you know, for a major part of my like illustration career, a lot of people knew me as someone who would draw a lot of women, like fashion style characters. And I stopped doing that. I think I just kind of moved on from it, and I felt like I really just wanted to focus on working on children's work. But yeah, I think, you know, I think of like how artists have different periods and different phases, and I think I'm just in my kids' book era right now. Nope, not at all. My training was in experimental cinema. But when I was a young person, I used to flip through magazines and copy all of the clothes and the hairstyles. So that's where I think I picked up a lot of my style. But you know, I also picked up a lot of bad habits in like unrealistic body proportions, and I stopped wanting to focus on that in my career.
Oh, she's so cute.
So I think, okay, we're about a minute over, so I don't think I have time to add color, but that's okay. We can add shadows. We can add a little shadow at the bottom so that we know where she's standing, and then we can say thank you. And when we're done with our art, we always sign it. So there we go. This one's done. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to Vashti Harrison for this beautiful time. Her books are in the lobby, and this Big, which is the first illustrated children's book.
First children's picture book to become a finalist for the National Book Award.
Woo! Big deal.
And Vashti and Adam will be in the lobby signing books, all of which are on sale as well and are curated pop-up. Thank you so much. At 5:30, we will have Eric Kim here, and we're going to do a little quick stage outfit change. Thank you so much, Vashti. This was incredible.
Thank you for
participating.
Festivals. Okay. Hello.
Do you see small people that look kind of just like us?
They're right there. Those are ours. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to get started. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, you can move that closer to you.
Okay, great. These are cool.
Oh, okay, great. Hi.
Hi. Hello.
I'm Rebecca.
I'm Eric.
Yeah, that's Amy.
Hi, I'm Amy, and we are the Mashup Americans. There are look, there are daughters here. There are many of our children here, and today in this third section of our book festival, where people are shopping in the hall, we love books.
Yep.
We love food and cooking. And we have a slight problem, no, not problem, advantage, where everything we do has to involve Korean people.
Oh,
and it turns out that encapsulate that like Venn diagram of joyfulness is Eric Kim, who is here with us today. So we are so excited.
Woo! Okay, so Eric is a New York Times staff writer and food columnist, the best-selling author of the beautiful cookbook, Korean American, Food That Tastes Like Home, and an actual high school homecoming king.
Oh. He looks like it. We know things.
We have really good researchers. So welcome, Eric.
I'm like trying to remember where I put that. Maybe in like a really esoteric blog post.
You're welcome.
Wow.
What did you wear? What did you wear to homecoming?
Ooh, I wore like a crumpled up dress shirt. It was in the back of my car, and it was very wrinkled. It was bad.
You didn't know you were gonna win?
I think they kind of like really wanted me to be there, but I was like trying to be aloof. I was like, oh, I don't know if I'll come. I don't believe in homecoming.
Which
I'm
makes
way
you
too
all the
cool
more
for it.
appealing as a homecoming kid.
I think
Love
I
that.
saw this happen in Never Have I Ever. So
A lot of shows.
Wait, also, I'm really enjoying, right now I can see Eric and also his beautiful book cover behind him, which everybody should admire.
Look at that.
Yeah, I know, look at that.
Look at that. Whose placement was that? Mine. I did
Yours.
that. Okay. Anyway, so Eric, you are the notorious author of the controversial mac and cheese recipe on the New York Times, which we made this recipe over Thanksgiving.
Usually when Rebecca says we, she means me and her, clearly.
But
right.
this case, I meant my husband and I.
Because I have questions about has the lactose intolerance as an Asian person not yet chased you down? Because
Yes,
this
that's
is
a
not a
question.
recipe that we could make in our house.
I don't know if that it's not chased me down, but I just ignore it, and I believe that the more dairy you just incorporate, it's fine. And I eat a lot of milk now. I drink
Exposure
a lot of
therapy.
like just cow milk.
He's like, this bloating is normal.
Yeah,
This is just the way you float through the world.
but we're definitely we're like a lactate household.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
I see.
They're lactose.
It's always on hand.
You can get lactate in Costco size, so that's nice.
That's good to know.
So the subtitle of Korean American is "Food That Tastes Like Home." What is home to you? What feelings? What sensations? What does it taste like?
Yeah, I haven't talked about my book in a while. I mean, it came out in 2022. Thank you for having me on and letting me talk about it again.
We're obsessed with you from the internet. So
Yeah.
thank you.
I'm obsessed with you.
Weird parasocial relationships happening here. Coming to
Yeah, I'm hoping to meet people after too. This thing will be like pretty short, I guess. But
Yeah.
I'll be hanging out after. So, but during my book tour, I think the answer I was giving was, home means food that tastes like sesame oil and food that tastes like gochujang, bloomed in butter, and I gave those kinds of answers. But the kind of annoying esoteric or academic answer is I write it in the last essay of the book. But home is it's like an old Greek concept. I mean, it's sort of the notion of not just leaving home but coming back, and it comes from Homeric epics. And I think one thing that
Wait, what?
I think obviously home existed before then too, but I think
Wait, home and Homer? I gotta go.
one thing that I
What?
one thing that I was really feeling while writing the book was, I had just moved back home, as a 28-year-old for the pandemic, and was feeling.
This is in Atlanta?
Yeah, this is in Atlanta, and I think that feeling of being an adult in your childhood bedroom, that I didn't realize that how much that was a part of this definition of home that I was trying to kind of write out in the form of recipes. And yeah, I think that's the long answer, but it's hard because whenever you talk about home and you write about it, it's kind of cheesy, and I think I couldn't avoid it though because I was really thinking hard about it. It was also it's a very strange experience to move back home as an adult, and then you
also when
realize even more when you leave it again what it really means to you.
And when you're recreating new homes or creating new homes in different places, and each of those places has when you think about cooking, its own smell profile. Like your apartment that you live in now, which is your home, is also maybe nothing like Georgia.
I love that you said smell profile. When I was little, we would always be like, oh, it smells like Becky's house. It smells like Jessica's house. It smells like...
Oh, totally.
It's like a culmination of everything, and including skin cells.
Gross.
Sorry.
But also true.
My son, when we were in the airport, he said, we're getting there. Smells like the airport, smells like gas and
Perfume.
Yeah.
School smells a very specific way.
Totally.
Like elementary school.
elementary school. Like the hard plastic of the chairs and the books.
Or maybe it's like the cinder block wall.
Cinder block. I think
The
that's
lead paint.
jail. That's actually
Yeah.
Well, so speaking of food, smells, home, you have brought for our audience today 7
Yeah, I have 7 today.
essential items from his home that he is going to share. We're going to do a show and tell. And then, Eric, what are we going to do?
And then I'm going to give them out as I list them.
Yes.
But in order to determine the right recipient, I'm going to ask some questions of you
Yeah.
guys.
Yes.
Also, this is the youngest audience I've ever had.
Oh my God.
We'll see.
All the little babies.
Okay.
Okay, you go.
Should I go?
Yeah,
Oh,
but
Let's
this
start-
is like the at the Wizarding World.
At the-
he's
oh.
gonna see if it's right for you. If this
Oh,
is
right.
your wand.
It's like if the
Yeah.
wand selects you.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
at Amy
Okay.
and Rebecca's version of Ollivanders, except she has not read Harry Potter and
That's
doesn't
also true.
exactly know what I'm talking about.
This is a big deal for me because I'm really, really bad at gifts. So
I can train you.
This is my beginning. I'm trying to make up for it. Blah blah blah.
Okay, great.
We're so excited to be here for this
Wow,
journey.
this is
Yes.
It truly is. It's a gift to me.
Yeah.
That you will allow me to be with you while you make gifts. Okay, go.
Okay. So the first thing I have is roasted seaweed. Many of you might know this as roasted seaweed snack. It's in many recipes in Korean American. That's why this is very useful to anyone who goes home with the book tonight. And it for me is the taste of home because my mom would crush it with her hands into a bowl of rice. And I feel like becoming an adult meant doing that myself for the first time. And it's usually just a fried egg over leftover rice, some soy sauce, sesame oil, and this, like one single packet of it crushed over. And when your hands are all greasy from the sesame oil, you like smell that. That's my childhood. And it can be yours too.
Oh, wow.
So who has never had this before?
Who wants to
who's
try?
Never had.
Who wants some seaweed?
Oh,
You've never-
oh, Amos, you've had it before.
You liar,
But do you want some
liar, pants
seaweed?
on fire.
Oh,
We
yes.
I think it
get
should go
it.
to-
Okay.
That was number 2.
Okay.
Get to that
Amos,
later.
you want to come get your seaweed? Now you
Now
don't,
he's
you don't want
feeling
to come
shy.
on the stage.
Woo, our
well,
first
yay! Woo!
Say thank you.
Okay. Oh my God.
Wow. I'm really celebrating the fact that Eric, that if you feel challenged by gift giving, this is incredible.
Yeah, I'm making it for a lot of like childhood.
Yeah.
Oh, we love to make up for childhood trauma.
Oh, no, we're
What
doing
do you
a lot
think
of
the
healing.
challenge is for you with gift giving?
I think I just don't have any forethought, and this didn't require much forethought because they're groceries that I can get overnight. But I tied each of them with a bow, and that's better than I've ever done. So
It's
Your
very
Your
beautiful.
partner over there is like, okay.
Paula's like,
I don't know how
okay.
many points I'm going to give you for this, but okay.
but
He was
I,
like, I actually tied the bows. Come on, guys.
But I love this because, I think sometimes the one barrier to cooking a recipe is not having that ingredient. So I'm going to be like listing things that I think you should make with this. So I thought of maple syrup because, it's a basic sweetener in my repertoire. A lot of my recipes have maple syrup. It doesn't just sweeten things. It also, when cooked to a certain temperature, it can really glaze a fish. It can really imbue a loaf of bread with its flavor. I think there's something special about maple syrup because it kind of transforms depending on what you do with it, and I play with it all the time. I use it to candy Spam in the book. So this is maple syrup, the go-to kind of bottle that I usually get. So who has never cooked with maple syrup before? I don't know what these questions should be. Who wants this bottle of maple syrup?
This
Whoa.
is
You can put it over your pancakes too.
Ooh. Yay! Happy Hanukkah!
Happy
Oh my God, this is
Hanukkah.
so fun.
Wait, I want James to. James, your mother, you are going to caramelize some Spam because fried Spam is my favorite food, my comfort food.
This is so useful for us to know because James had me buy Spam. He's desperate to taste it and has watched like YouTube, and we've never known how to cook it.
And now
Yay.
you will.
I'm gonna caramelize it in the
It's amazing. It's good with some rice. You need like a bowl of white rice with
Yeah.
it, but it's a good meal. And steal some seaweed snack to have with it.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Do all
Okay.
that.
The next one is gochujang. So this is a red chili paste. Last year I put out a cookie recipe that uses it, and
Also mildly controversial. As it turns out, all New York Times comment sections will make you believe any recipe is mildly
The
controversial.
only interesting place left on the internet is in New York
Comment
Times
section.
cooking comment section.
that's the one.
I can't recommend it enough as a
pretty
person
fun.
who's left social media.
people are wild in the comment section.
Oh
Wild.
my gosh!
Yeah.
Who do you know any of them? Are any of them ever like you're like, oh, there's my boy,
No.
or there's my girl Janice in New Rochelle.
Not yet. I don't dwell on them
Yeah.
enough, but I probably should.
She's like, he doesn't know how to make authentic Korean food. And her
Yeah,
name's
yeah,
like
that happens a
Janice
lot.
Smith. Anyways,
Well, my role on the desk is to egg people on, so that's usually what I do. But this cookie really does taste good.
Yeah.
And it's easy.
It's
and
delicious.
This is the gochujang that I use, and I'm gonna not say brand names, but you'll hold it in your hand. And you know, the question that I always get from people is it okay if I use a gochujang that has like garlic and like other stuff in it? And I'm always like, yeah, because this does. And that's not the point. It's like the savoriness in your cookie tastes really good. It's really fun. I have a ton of gochujang recipes on NYT Cooking, but also in my book. This is my jar. I think this is a good gateway jar because it kind of comes in a smaller container as well, so you'll use it up very quickly. Gochujang buttered noodles also went viral this year. And you know, these recipes are really just me feeling guilty for making people buy this and then making sure that I give people enough reasons to use it. So, who's never had this or tried it?
Who's never had gochujang?
Wait, Adam Gidwitz.
Yeah.
Adam Gidwitz is there. Woo!
Make the cookies and let me know what you think.
I will say, Adam was one of our beautiful storytellers earlier in our book fair, and he did have he was trying to be very politic about it, but some real confusion when we were like, where are the Korean Americans? Did the 2 copies come in? Did the Korean Americans get here today? And he was not sure what we were talking about.
We thought we were referring to humans, but we were referring to your book.
Your book.
Yeah,
but
you know, it's
Controversial title.
Also,
controversial. Okay, what's next?
Okay, what is
I love
next?
also that it's in a corduroy backpack.
Oh yeah,
it's
this
a
is my
Santa bag.
Yeah.
It's my Santa bag.
Yeah.
You can identify him on the street with this. Okay, how many people do you know with the corduroy yellow book bag?
Nobody.
Only Eric
now
Kim.
just one.
Every other person who got it. Okay, this is really special. Going along the vein of gochujang, kimchi isn't just something to eat as like a condiment. You know, this is a fermented pickle. It's also incredible to cook with. So I have a whole chapter in the book called what's it called? Kimchi as a verb. Because my whole thing is like, you should make your own kimchi. It's so fun, and it's like a life skill that will, you know, help you clear out your fridge and never waste your vegetables. But another thing is, I like cooking with it. You know, when you saute it in some butter, it really changes the profile. You can stew it, and you know what's really really fun is with an in-person kind of event like this, I can tell you that when I'm not making my own kimchi, this is the brand I love. And I don't know. I feel like I do want to like
Give them a
shout
shout out.
them out. They're actually called pingre, but I think they market themselves as Pride Kimchi, and they're just from Jersey, and I don't know what it is. You can get this on Fresh Direct, but the thing is, it just really tastes homemade. It doesn't taste like flimsy and bland like some of the other ones. This is a really good kimchi made in Jersey, and it's good. And we New Yorkers get to have it.
I have 2 jars of it at home.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, but I would like to note that it was so brave of you to carry kimchi just like raw and loose in your bag.
You know what's funny? I was thinking that because I also have a copy of my book in here, and I was like, you know, it should be stained. with
Okay.
kimchi.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Talk about smell profiles
yeah,
in your bag.
I mean, this is definitely the smelliest. It's pretty like tightly wound, but I would say that whoever receives this, leave it out on your counter for just one more night, and then put it in the fridge tomorrow, and then enjoy it as fast or as slowly as you want. This will last for 6 months in your fridge.
Or a
Oh
week,
my God.
depending on who you are.
Who wants
Who
kimchi?
wants
Oh, there.
Go! Okay.
Yay.
Yay! What are you gonna make with it? Okay.
Oh my God, so exciting. Okay.
Oh, what's that?
Oh, this is so fun
Okay.
for us.
The next one is nutritional yeast. Do you guys know this?
The
Oh
nooch.
yeah, very 70s,
Yeah,
like
70s. Also
hippie vibes.
Right. Also known as nooch.
Nooch.
It says cheesy seasoning without the dairy. Okay, I bought a jar of this to make my colleague Becky Hughes's vegan chickpea like Caesar salad on NYT Cooking. It's a great recipe. This helps you mimic cheesy flavors people put on popcorn all the time. I wasn't really cooking with it. We have fans here. I wasn't really cooking with it until I got like really high one night and
Yes.
and but I went to my pantry.
I think we told you that it's not just reading the New York Times cooking comments section that relaxes us. It is being a little stoned and reading the New York Times cooking section comments.
It's a niche.
It's a niche market,
lifestyle.
but
yeah.
we enjoy it very much.
Wow,
You're
you guys,
welcome.
that's great. Thanks for the NYT cooking plug. I hope my PR people are okay with that. Just kidding. Okay, so
It's legal.
They're fine.
Yeah.
It is legal. This is really good with peanut butter. So what I do is I make a slice of toast. I spread some peanut butter over it, drizzle it with honey, flaky sea salt, and shower it with this nutritional yeast.
Wow.
And it sounds really weird, but it's so good. It tastes like those.
What is it, like Welsh rarebit?
Oh, Welsh rarebit. That's interesting.
Isn't
Yeah,
it kind
yeah,
of
that's a good
similar?
flavor. Similar flavor profile.
Ugh.
No peanut butter in that.
I feel
but-
like I got an A+.
I know you totally did. That was really good.
Do you guys remember those salt, like, what are they called? The peanut butter cheese crackers?
Oh, yeah.
That you get in the vending machine, and it kind of has that flavor, so it's really
You
fun.
need the little red stick thing to spread the cheese around.
Well, yeah, that too. But it's wait, what were you gonna ask?
Is this in your cookbook, or should we be writing this down?
That's my child, by the way. If you were wondering if it runs in the family.
You could write it down if you want. This one's not in the book at all, but it's peanut butter, honey, salt, and this.
Nooch.
And it's just a really nice snack. You can make it for yourself if you make toast. Yeah, I was living off of this for like the last year. So who wants some nutritional yeast?
Look, we
She
got a lot of
She also looks
takers.
like the jars.
Oh, she does. Okay, Delilah, it's
Delilah.
your nutritional yeast. Yay!
You could sprinkle it over.
Before
your
we go to
pasta,
the
your
next, as we go, you do have 2 master's degrees in literature, and you studied poetry and creative writing as an undergrad. Do you see any connection between poetry and cooking, or writing recipes?
Yeah, especially recipes. I actually said this to a colleague recently and kind of regretted it. So I'll just tell all of you. But I was sort of explaining how writing the columns, writing like essays, feels like a fiction writing class. But then writing the recipes feels like a poetry workshop, because it's like you have 100 words to say exactly what you want to say, and so I don't know. In that way, it's the fact that form is even more emphasized. Yeah, that has helped me with my job.
And
I
there's
think.
there's rhythm to it.
Yeah, I think there's rhythm.
There's a cadence to
or at least I like my sentences to have like a rhythm. Yeah, I'm always thinking about that. I think when I'm writing, yeah. Usually I'm the one who's, making a change to copy very last minute because I don't like the way a sentence sounds.
Right.
You're like, just let me in the CMS.
Yeah.
I could do it.
Well,
I'm an
as
annoying
also
writer.
somebody who writes in so many different forms and also cooks in so many different ways, and we were just talking backstage about how when you're sharing a recipe, you're remixing it, right? You're like you're bringing it to life in different versions and platforms. Do you think that, as somebody who has written memoir, is all of your cooking also a memoir? Like, is cooking in general an act of writing memoir?
That's really beautiful. I hadn't thought about that, but I think, yeah, I would say, what's very strange? If you're a public food writer, someone who writes recipes and posts them online, they're kind of there forever, right? So what ends up happening is you can go back to those recipes and they become markers of how you cooked back then. You don't have to be like a professional food writer to do that. I think if you are a journalist, if you like to journal, if you like to write diary entries, like it's sort of it's a really fun way to look back on who you were, because I don't know, in the way that certain songs remind you of certain times in your life, I feel like certain recipes that I've written, they really call back to a time when, I don't know, for instance, I used to really cook with herbs de Provence and red pepper flakes and red vermouth for some reason, like together, because those were the things in my pantry at the time. So I don't really cook with those anymore, but I really love that I used to do that,
Yeah.
Because I remember that I got that from Nigella Lawson, who kind of taught me how to cook, I think.
Right. Well, it's also something that's really exciting about like the ingredients that you're sharing. I think we should get back to show and tell is also like the serendipity of the ingredients that you're saying, like, oh, if you happen to be, it's like going to somebody else's kitchen and you're like, well, I never thought about this, but maybe. And you talk about how your mom did that really as part of like her immigration story.
Yeah, I think that's, I see it as emotional manipulation. If you ever really want to like make someone remember you, you gift them not like an ingredient. I'm saying like you gift them something that they won't ever throw away. I think I've been thinking a lot lately about like what makes a good gift, and I've been gifting a lot of friends this very specific pepper grinder that's always, out of stock. But it's like the best pepper grinder in the world. It's called the Unicorn, and it dispels pepper really just like one twist will get you like a whole teaspoon, and it's really helpful. And so when in that way, like whenever someone, sorry, I'm not really answering your question, but it's like whenever people, whenever you gift little pieces of the kitchen like that to someone, then you never know how long it'll go in their lives, and that's what's really beautiful. And yeah, something my mom did, like she makes Argentine empanadas. Recipe is in the book, I think, because she met a woman who was a Korean woman who grew up in South America, in Argentina. So like every Christmas I go home and I have Argentine empanadas, and it's not random. It's really tied to that one woman.
Yeah. Oh, it's so beautiful. Well, let's do more show and tell.
Oh yeah. Speaking of pantry items, this is my salt of choice.
Oh, wow.
So my book and most of my recipes on NYT Cooking, they call for coarse kosher salt. And I'm not supposed to say like which brand, but there's one brand that labels it like that. And and the reason I call for this is because
that's actually close reading that you learned in your master's in literature.
I feel like the reason I do this is because so many recipes online, there's a period of food media where chefs were using diamond crystal kosher salt because it had they had all these soliloquies about why they like to use that fine flowing salt. But I think you can't find that salt everywhere, and this box of salt is just more readily available everywhere. But also it is a little saltier by volume. Let me make sure I said that right, which means that, so basically 1 teaspoon of this is equivalent to about almost 2 teaspoons of the other one. So what that means is, I could say this in a much clearer way, but what that means is if you use this salt, you will never oversalt your food. Like by following a recipe. Or at least, wait, I didn't explain that right.
Yeah,
you got it.
Anyway.
Because you can't take it back. Once you've oversalted,
Yeah, you can't
it's
take it
just
back.
always
I'd
oversalted.
rather you need a little more salt than have to, waste food.
Yes.
So that's sort of why I use this. It's you need less of it than the other one, but so when my recipes call for a teaspoon of this, and you still use like diamond crystal, then your food will still be fine.
Okay.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah.
That's okay. Who needs James? I don't think you need to take a box of salt.
anyone
but I
wanna-
love that you want that.
It's a 3-pound
I
box
see.
of salt.
Somebody just raised their hand.
Does someone need salt? Oh, there we go.
feel
I
like
think there's
Benji? Come on up.
Benji's getting their salt.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you the truth is that it's on such a rare occasion that anything's been too salty for me.
Nice.
Like that, I think I have it's maybe even
You have
a disease.
Yeah.
Probably.
Right? I'm like
salt
it's
too.
low sodium or something. I am personally, so I need to make
love
up for it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, the last one. This is going to be useful for the next column that's coming out. I just
my
filed
God.
it today. Maybe like a horrible draft, but we'll edit it and it'll be fine. But at the end of the month, it's going to be in the New York Times Magazine. You'll be able to see it online, but it's a recipe that requires these very specific Swedish tin sprats.
Both Rebecca and I are like, me.
It's a tinned fish.
Which are confusingly called anchovies as well, but they're not like the anchovies that we know, the Italian-style ones. They're more spiced. They're seasoned really beautifully, and you bake them into cream and potatoes. And so when that recipe comes out, this will be a very difficult ingredient to find, but you will have it, and then you'll be able to cook it, and there'll be no excuse.
I see some nodding people over there. Are you interested in sprats?
Oh.
Yes, I think
we
you
do.
are.
Okay.
Okay, hold
All
on.
right, we got it. You better. We expect an Instagram post with the recipe next month with the column.
Oh my gosh, this feels like what a preview.
We have 2 minutes, 1 minute and 20 seconds left, and Eric, this has been such a delight. I think in our last remaining seconds, and he will stay in the lobby, sign books, which you can buy after this. But you are. So many people in the city look to you for guidance, for your joyful writing. so many people love your recipes. What would you give our young and all ages audience right now, their tips for how to eat your best life? Like what are the guidelines?
Ooh, how to eat your best life. I think my advice is to relish in the meals that are special to you in the moment, because you'll never know how important they are later. So I think, goes for parents as much as kids, but I think you never know when that one breakfast that you happen to make for your kid will become their like dream dinner later in life. Yeah.
Oh no, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna
Oh,
cry.
you got us again.
Pulled that out of my.
Yeah, it's a very good one. Well, thank you, Eric Kim.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
We love you. Yay!
Eric's going to be in the lobby, and he'll be signing books. And you can ask him your real live New York Times cooking comments, and go outside to shop. You can get your book signed, and we'll be back in here at 7 p.m. for our ticketed event with Jacqueline Woodson, Jeff Chang, and Julia Stiles. So thank you very much.
Thank you guys. That was so fun.
Yay! Thank you, Eric.
Hello. I feel like I snuck onto the stage, you guys. How you doing? There you go. You have the right idea. I like the way you're thinking. We'll get to this in a minute. So I'm Jennifer. I work here. There's no real need to clap for me. I'm really more of a behind-the-scenes person. Okay. All right. You got to loosen up your hands. There's going to be a show. Who is in the Greene Space for the first time ever? Whoa. How'd you hear about the show? You Mashup American fans? Very cool. All right, well, welcome. Who's been here a whole bunch of times? Any regulars? Oh, a whole bunch of regs. Okay, nice. So the family, we got the new finds, we got the old guard. Is anyone a member of WNYC or WQXR? I like that your hand shot right up. So where you are, for everybody who's here for the first time, this is the live audience studio of New York Public Radio. So we're independent journalism, we make art, we make theater, we do dance parties, we do it all right here, and we do it all because of you. So if you're not a member right now and you like tote bags and you like anything I just mentioned, you know, it's the time of year to give. You too can become a member and have people clap for you next time you're here. So follow, subscribe, whatever you want to do. But I hope you will be here with us again in the Greene Space, because it's a lot of fun to be able to not just talk into these tubes in a studio upstairs and make radio and podcasts. It's really fun to do it with a whole room full of people. So glad you're here. Speaking of people, let's not communicate with people who aren't here. If you don't mind silencing your phones, kind of setting those aside, feel free to take pictures and all that good stuff, but want to make sure that there's no ringing or dinging during the show. This is a joyous occasion and a bittersweet one, because it is the last event that we will be doing here with the Mashup Americans, a part of their residency here in the Greene Space. One of many times they've been on our stage here, and these women are savvy, they are smart, they are kind, they are thoughtful, they come up with the greatest ideas, they're such a pleasure, and their whole business is about helping other remarkable humans share their stories. So I'm gonna miss them. We've been so lucky to have them, and you are so lucky to be here with them tonight as they celebrate the last event of a really incredible series they've done. So let's bring them out here. Give it up now for Amy and Rebecca.
Oh, wow, you guys.
Tequila's in, everyone.
And my feet changed sizes in the pandemic, and so this is the first time I've really worn heels in a long time.
Okay.
But we're sitting. Okay, hi.
Hey, it's so nice to see your faces. I'm Rebecca.
You're Rebecca.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Amy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's us. Oh, we have lines.
Yeah, we're the Mashup Americans, and welcome to our book festival. Thank you for coming, everyone. Give yourselves a clap. This fall has been full of every possible feeling, just absolutely the highest highs and the lowest lows, which maybe we'll get into, maybe we won't, but I'll probably cry. And we're so grateful to every single one of you that is here today.
Yes. And so one of the core principles of the Mashup Americans is that books are life. And when things are confusing or hard, what do? We read a book.
We read a book.
When we believe books and art and stories are how we stay human, how we can lose ourselves, also how we can find ourselves, how we remember our roots, and how we stretch our imaginations to make a bigger and bolder and mashier future. And we're just like so beyond happy right now that we can be here, that we have created our very own book fair. Every title that is out there right now for sale was handpicked by us. These were all the books that have stayed with us this year. They're also all here. And they just, it's like so exciting to be able to share the things that have moved us and have moved our souls, and to celebrate all of the incredible artists and writers among us.
Earlier today, we had incredible kids storytelling with the Newbery Award-winning Adam Gidwitz, also our friend.
Who is also here
Not
somewhere.
to brag,
No.
not to brag. And the National Book Award finalist, Vashti Harrison. And then we had New York Times cooking columnist, Eric Kim. All of their books are available in our pop-up shop in the lobby, so go buy some. And now we're here with you, with our favorite book lovers and book writers. Our dedicated reader And our very first guest tonight is the legendary Julia Stiles. Julia is a Golden Globe, Emmy, and SAG Award-nominated actress. She's also a writer and director currently working on her feature directorial debut. She's also one of my favorite people in the world for the last 25 years, who I have seen perform in Shakespeare in the Park and in Mammoth in the West End. So let's welcome Julia Stiles to the stage. All right, welcome. Oh yeah, you gotta get, I know, it's just to make you self-conscious. Yeah, that's what we do here. We like to make women feel bad about their bodies while they enter the stage.
The opposite.
The opposite.
No,
The opposite
JK. Just two silken ladies right here.
Hi,
Yeah.
Julia.
Hey, welcome. This is pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's so nice to see you both
Yeah.
and be here. This is such a great antidote to the internet.
That is
yes.
exactly what it is. So Julie and I have been friends since the year 2000, great year, Y2K, and where we ate bananas and Nutella in the dining hall in John Jay at Columbia University in the city of New York. And we read a lot of books together, some required and some not. So that's a Columbia joke for some folks out there. One of the first questions I have for you, and you're one of the most voracious readers I know, is what are some of the books that have stayed with you? So maybe two books that have just really stayed with you.
Oh my God, you say I'm a voracious reader. I'm just full disclosure, I'm a mom of 3 and one is a newborn, so I have a goldfish memory of any books that I don't feel like I'm a
You're like,
voracious
have
reader.
you
I'm
heard
actually
Goodnight Moon? So have you read The Pout Pout Fish?
I feel like I'm lucky tonight if I remember how to read. I'm gonna really try hard. So I can only think of like the most recent ones. But oh, by the way, the required reading at Columbia University, I skimmed. Let's be honest.
It was too much and a little bit boring sometimes.
But I'll go back. Okay, nerd alert. I'll go back to the Odyssey. That one stuck with me. I skimmed it in college and barely understood it. But then later in life, at the right time, the right moment, went back and read it. And obviously, there's a reason it's a classic.
Ah.
There's some.
Did I just say like an old white man book? I did.
No. Well,
We don't know. We don't know. We don't know what he looked like, okay? It was also so many people told the story, right?
Right, that's right.
Okay.
You were paying
It's
attention.
also-
Also,
You know
Greek
what?
people, they're ethnic whites.
Oh God.
They make that lemon soup. You know, it's great.
I don't know. Tan.
No, there's a very cool graphic novel of the Odyssey right now that all the kids are reading. So I think you're right on. You're
Right on
track.
trend, you know?
You're cool. Yeah.
There's only 7 themes in history.
No,
so that's
we're all repeating
Yeah.
ourselves.
Yeah.
So what do you, as somebody who like makes stories in so many different forms, what do you love about storytelling and performing and reading? Like, how are those connected for you?
Oh, it's like part of the reason why I think we're all here. It's the campfire. It's the thing that brings us back together and makes us feel human, and we have a shared experience, and that we're not alone.
Yeah.
You know.
I think there's something, you know, people say this about the movies a lot, that like going to the movies is like going to church. And I feel that way about a bookstore, that like I could just get lost in there. When we go to bookstores, after about 45 minutes, there's always like, Rebecca does a very specific way of calling me when she's irritated, which is Amy. And it's always, you can hear it kind of echoing, and I'll have to like crawl myself
My
out.
mom's is this.
But I feel like bookstores are church. Like, what do you think, like, what's your experience when you get lost in something?
Lost in a story. Yeah, the rest of the world fades away, especially now, I think, with all of our ADD, multitasking, and constant distraction from phones and devices and multiple conversations that are happening aside from the present moment. I think it's nice when you watch a movie or read a book or go to see theater or a music show that you forget you're fully present and in the story that's being told and the emotions and world that's being shared, and the rest of everything, all the noise fades away.
Yeah. Lucky.
I know. Sometimes I'm confused. Also, I know people actually do have ADD, but I am confused sometimes
I didn't use that word correctly,
no.
sorry.
Sometimes I get confused by the internet that I do, and then I get off of it and just read a book, and I'm like, nah, I don't. My brain just got really fucked up from the internet. You know?
Right.
I'm just like, ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah.
But actually, I can just read. I also have children, and so I don't have time to just do it, but when I'm in a book, I'm up till 3 in the morning, despite having to get up at 6 with children. I can't stop it.
It's the best. It's like, it's the
best.
soothing. It's like brain Valium.
Yeah, it is. It's like 1 more hour. I'm like, oh no, it's 12:30?
Yeah.
One
Wait,
more hour.
I think we just invented a new thing.
What, brain Valium?
Brain Valium.
Well, I mean, I think
maybe it's
Valium is
for
supposed to work
brains?
on your brain.
Wow,
I
this
don't
is
know.
3 moms talking about their
We're so
new
fucked
inventions.
up.
We're so-
Anyways,
Good night. We are brain Valium.
That's our new band. We're going to start a band. It's going to be so great.
Get high before this, just FYI. But we are inventing new things together. No, in fact, we're just so excited to, we've had so many adventures in this world. We're telling our own stories, and we're so excited about our guests, our additional guests. It's the 3 Js, which is Jacqueline Woodson and Jeff Chang, and who are just some of the most extraordinary storytellers and thinkers of our time, and we can't believe we get to invent a space that we just get to invite our friends who we want to talk to, and then you all come. We're just lucky, lucky humans. So tonight, Julia's going to read a couple of readings to start us off, from Jacqueline and Jeff, and then at the end of the night, she's going to come back and read a few more poems for us. So
Yes.
Julia, can you take us in?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Yay! Ooh, I lost my page.
I'll start with The Beginning from Brown Girl Dreaming by Jacqueline Woodson. I cannot write a word yet, but at 3, I now know the letter J. Love the way it curves into a hook that I carefully top with a straight hat, the way my sister has taught me to do. Love the sound of the letter and the promise that one day this will be connected to a full name, my own, that I will be able to write by myself, without my sister's hand over mine, making it do what I cannot yet do. How amazing these words are that slowly come to me, how wonderfully they go on and on. Will the words end, I ask, whenever I remember to? Nope, my sister says, all of 5 years old now, and promising me infinity. From the prelude of Can't Stop, Won't Stop by Jeff Chang. Generations are fictions. The act of determining a group of people by placing a beginning and ending date around them is a way to impose a narrative. They are interesting and necessary fictions because they allow claims to be staked around ideas, but generations are fictions nonetheless. There's nothing more ancient than telling stories about generational difference. A generation is usually named and framed first by the one immediately preceding it. The story is written in the words of shock and outrage that accompany 2 revelations. Whoa, I'm getting old. And damn, who are those kids? Up until recently, our generation has mainly been defined by the prefix post. We've been post-civil rights, post-modern, post-structural, post-feminist, post-black, post-soul. We're the poster children of post, the leftovers in the dirty kitchen of yesterday's feast. So exactly when a hip-hop generation began and whom it includes remains quite appropriately a contested question. My own feeling is that the idea of the hip-hop generation brings together time and race, place, polyculturalism, hot beats, and hybridity. It describes the turn from politics to culture, the process of entropy and reconstruction. It captures the collective hopes and nightmares, ambitions and failures of those who would otherwise be described as post this or post that. So you ask, when does the hip-hop generation begin? Whom does it include? Anyone who is down. When does it end? When the next generation tells us it's over. I'm not going to read the title of this. You guys can guess what it is. And I'll give you a hint. It's written by Malik Isaac Taylor, AKA Fife Dog. Yo, Microphone check, 1, 2, what is this? The 5-foot assassin with the roughneck business. I float like gravity, never had a cavity, got more rhymes than the ones that's got family. No need to sweat Arsenio to gain some type of fame. No shame in my game, 'cause I'll always be the same. Styles upon styles upon styles is what I have. Just as a side note, I always thought that it was, I got more rhymes than Lawanda's got cavities. I don't think that's right. I'm glad you guys corrected me.
There's no time like the present. Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
Woo! All right, so now that we've heard a teensy bit of their writing, we want to invite Jeff Chang, who is an American historian, journalist, and music critic on hip-hop music and culture. Every hip-hop head has a copy of his iconic book, Can't Stop, Won't Stop, A History of the Hip-Hop Generation, which is also for sale in the lobby. And he is the author of the forthcoming Water, Mirror, Echo, Bruce Lee, and the Making of Asian America. Jacqueline Woodson is an American writer of books for children, adults, and adolescents, aka everyone. She is best known for her National Book Award-winning memoir and verse, Brown Girl Dreaming, and her Newbery Honor winning titles after Tupac and Dee Foster, Feathers, and Show Way, and their buddies. Welcome, Jeff and Jacqueline. Oh, well, hello. Oh, my gosh. I was impressed that Julia could read without glasses.
And handling Fife Dog.
I know. I'm sorry. It was a good flow.
Yes.
That was a really good flow. We are so excited to have both of you here. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to start us off. Okay. So both of you use epigraphs to open up your books and sometimes your chapters in your writing. And we'd like to read some of them to open up our evening that we're writing together with you. So Jacqueline, okay, hold on. To open up your memoir, Brown Girl, this is, just in case you were wondering, this is Amy's copy. There's a lot of these floating around, and I wanted to be very specific. To open up your memoir, Brown Girl Dreaming, you have a Langston Hughes poem. You guys, she signed my book for me. Yes. And I was did I jump on her as soon as she came to the green room? Yes, I did. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. So that opened your memoir. And then Jeff, to open up the first chapter of Can't Stop, Won't Stop, you have a quote from Don DeLillo: "Longing on a large scale is what makes history." So with that in mind, as such incredible writers yourselves, can you tell us about the art of an epigraph and why you use another writer's words or thoughts to launch into your own?
You want to start?
No.
I didn't think you did.
They're friends, by the way, so any shenanigans over there is not necessarily our responsibility.
I'm glad that you said epigraph because I, always confuse it. Is it epitaph?
100%. I'm so glad you confused me as a master of words.
I think I hate when people start with I think, because I know that when I look at a book, the things that show me what the book is trying to say are the title, the epigraph, the first line, and the last line. And so those are always guide points for me. I don't read the flap copy. I don't read the reviews. That's what I look at, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to mess with this book or I'm not going to. And so in that case of Brown Girl Dreaming, Langston Hughes made sense, especially the idea of holding fast to your dreams, holding on to what you deeply believe in, because that is going to be your guidepost. And this book in turn becomes the guidepost for how one becomes a writer, or how I became a writer.
Well, we're so lucky you did.
Thank you.
We're so lucky you did. Jeff, what about you? Longing on a large scale is what makes history.
Yeah, I really like that she noted that, because I do too, and I thought I was the only person, but I'm really not. But it's
I think it's important when you realize you're just a type of person.
yeah, exactly.
I'm very much.
But the cool thing about it, like from a process point of view, right, is that those are the things that you really labor over, right? Because you know that you want to grab the person with the first sentence.
Right.
And then you know you want the person to put the book down and just be like have that feeling, like, you know, just sort of exhale and have that feeling that you want to have them have. And then, like, as you're thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking about the book, you're reading and you're reading and you're reading, and you're reading. And so for me, that particular thing came from the very famous Pafko at the Wall kind of introduction to Don DeLillo's Underworld, which I mean, that's just one of the most beautiful pieces of literature ever, especially for somebody like me, who came up with a father who was really into baseball. And then all that it says, I think, about, you know, America, the idea of America. And it's right there. It's like right there, like on like probably the first or the second page.
Yeah.
And then you just go, oh. Because it's so real. It's this desire for change that we all like embody together that forces us to come together to be able to leave something behind.
There's also something that it's not in your epigraph, but in your in the acknowledgments on the. I know Jacqueline and
I love acknowledgments.
she loves an acknowledgement. She loves an acknowledgement.
So you said that, and then I always just like, then I also flip to the acknowledgments. I want to know who got thanked, what they say about people. It's like, I don't know. It's obsessive behavior.
You know what I just heard? That people are being more careful about their acknowledgments, because in case someone is doing an award ceremony, you know, the head of awards or writing a review, you don't want that person thanked in the acknowledgments, because then they're like, oh, that's a friend of that person. I thought that was really, and I'm like, if they help me, I'm going to thank them. I don't care who they are.
Yeah. Oh, wait, I can't be sensitive about everything, you guys.
Well, actually, I misspoke. I actually meant the dedication.
Oh, okay.
The dedication.
So the dedication. But Jacqueline, in the beginning of Brown Girl Dreaming, I'm paraphrasing. I don't know it exactly, but it's you dedicate it both to your family and also the family you're going to create. And I just thought that, like, leapfrogging off of what Jeff said, that is to me like the most beautiful thing, because I feel like that's what writers do. We just we create families and we create audiences and communities around it, and I think it was so magical to hear that in the very beginning also.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I definitely believe in thanking the past, including the ancestors who are with us always, and, you know, old and new, who are guiding us on this journey, and the future, because that's who we are hopeful, except sometimes not so much when our young people try us. But yeah, I think they're worth acknowledging.
We're also parents, so we know, we understand.
When they try us, that's my epitaph, actually. I know. Rebecca Lair, they tried us. She was tried.
She was tried.
She got tried. Oh, man. She tried, they tried her, the end. So, you know, borders, boundaries, and like the impact on community is a theme in our themes in both of your works. Jeff, we talked about this a lot together in our recent podcast episode, Magic Americans. We've recently become obsessed with Jeff, so you're welcome to everybody. Jeff, you know, your communities as a local, you know, in Hawaii, where you grew up, in hip hop, as an academic, as an Asian American, there's so many, and about how arbitrary borders are, you know, how we can't draw a fence around our ideas or communities. What do you want I'm asking this of both of you, but to start, Jeff, what do you want your readers to understand about community when you're writing?
Actually, this goes back to the acknowledgments thing, because I'm a fan too of that. And I just remember Public Enemy, right? It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. Like pulling out the record and seeing a whole block of text, and, you know, Chuck and everybody citing who their community was, literally, right? Like they literally had, here are the folks who influenced us, the old school, and then there was like the new school, and then there was the next school. And we used to use that as a guide when we went to the record store, because, you know, back then you didn't have Spotify. You couldn't tell what it was going to listen, what it was going to sound like. So you're just
There
like,
was no
oh,
algorithm.
ultramagnetic MCs, like, let's go buy that record and see what it sounds like. But it was also a way of being inducted into understanding what they were creating at that particular moment. So place was a big part of that, and the kinds of aesthetic values they were looking for. Like ultramagnetic was really offbeat and weird, and and then there would be other folks in there who were maybe more direct, more politically, like directive. But I think that the thing that you want to do in any book is you want to be able to create a world that you can immerse people in, and you want to actually like rub that empathy bone a little bit, right? You want to be able to make folks feel like that is not something that's foreign. And for those of us who are writing from the positions that we write from, it's literally a matter of life and death sometimes. Yeah. So the idea is that here is this world, here's the community that's in it, and here's an invitation for you to identify and be with us for a little bit, and maybe emerge from that transformed in your relationship to the community that we've created. Yeah.
That's such a good point. What Jeff said.
Okay, great. We can move on.
I do think, we were talking about family, community, backstage a little bit, and I think the community itself is its own character so often in books. And in real life. I think we do this work in such isolation as writers, and we wouldn't be able to do it without our people. Even though we want them to get out of the house and not bother us for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours. Yes. But at the same time, that nurturing is what gives us the muscle, and what we acknowledge either implicitly or explicitly on a page.
Yeah, I think I'm thinking in Brown Girl Dreaming, the Jehovah's Witness community, or the just in the town, in your grandparents' town, in the South.
Nickeltown in
Nickeltown, like the walking down the street and the kids across the street. Like, I don't know their names. I don't know if you even say their names, but you can feel that character exactly, very, very clearly. And similarly, these pockets of like what different places in hip hop represent. Like, what is that community? It's funny, we had this wonderful guy, Jakey Cho, here.
Oh, Jakey.
Yeah, last month, who runs this project called Righteous Eats, and he talks like this. Yeah. And
he's the greatest.
Yo, you gotta check out this amazing.
She's not joking. He really sounds like that.
He really does sound like that.
I know. I've been practicing for so long. It's like, I went to this amazing spot in Queens. It's delicious. But one of the things he was shouting, he's so special. And he was like shouting out, thanking like everybody who works on anything he does on stage. And we noticed that. And he said, well, he moved to the States when he was 10 or 11. And he's Korean, but then when he born and raised in Korea, then a few years in China, and then moved here from China. And he said, well, I learned English from hip hop. And so all of the hip hop that I listened to was being like, someone in the 212, somebody in the and so he was just like, that's what you do. You just thank everybody. And so that's like, that was
But it's also something so nice about that it makes really explicit the idea that like, we don't just come out of nowhere.
Yes.
Like, we are part of a fabric, like we're contributing to it. We are also made from it, and that like none of us are existing or being created in isolation. And I think like right now, we've been joking about like what has been kind of, not joking, thinking about what has been the theme of like our whole experience here, and it's really been like to try and get off the internet. And the internet is a place where you're just this like one little atom that's
Yeah.
like floating around in space, and you're not really connected to anything. But when you can actually be super explicit about who is your community, and to like think really hard about it, and then remember that you're connected to them for better or for worse, right? Because sometimes it's really hard, but that knowing where you're coming from lets you like then do the thing where you're creating the future.
Yeah. We're booping around.
No,
We're just- yeah.
it makes me think of something that I would try to talk to my students about when I was teaching this book, which is Amiri Baraka's idea of art, and how he would contrast this idea of art as being about reaching the transcendent and being timeless and being above, right? And sort of being that individual who created this great work that then sits above and beyond time and space. And art as, and this is a bad word for Western art critics, as functional, as having a place in real life, as enacting relationships between each other, as gathering people together, as making people move together. So,
So why is that? Why do people look down on that? Art is functional?
yeah, I think that it's like in Western art criticism, the idea that art would be subordinated to a mere function between human beings is somehow, you know?
Which is so interesting, because when you said that, I think about Audre Lorde, who said
Yeah.
poetry is not luxury, right?
Right.
And the idea for us as people of the mashup, right, and people of the global majority, it is functional. Like we learned very early on, like how is that art thing you're trying to pursue going to pay the mortgage or the rent?
Yeah.
And then how is it going to change the world?
Yeah.
Because our work has historically been about shift and change and the greater good. And I always think of that when I used to teach how my thing wasn't as high up as yours. I was like,
was more
why
fun-
are
it
you
was more
navel gazing? Like,
Yeah.
you know, why are you just there? Like, what does this story have to do with a bigger world? Like, and you know, people just telling these stories that are so insular, that are so not thinking about a higher realm, not thinking about a bigger world, or the impact of your art. How is it going to help or change the world? And people would get so mad at me, and they're like, but this is my story. It's like, yeah, it's only your story. Like, make it mine too. Like,
I don't
when
care.
does it become mine too?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, so this is a question that we had, because as mashups, we always like pride ourselves on having an outsider gaze, right? Like leading from the margins, being able to observe and like really kind of critique or analyze what's happening in the mainstream, because all of us here have like a slightly outsider perspective. Do you think, you know, as you were creating or writing, that you were ever were you writing against something? Are you writing for something? Like, is that a tension that's conscious for you?
I don't know how when I sit down to write, I think it's inherent, right? I think the writing against invisibility, the how dare the world not see us, is just so deeply ingrained in who I am, and that sense of audacity.
Oh my God, I love so much.
But I don't sit down and say I'm not. I'm speaking to myself. When I'm writing, I'm not thinking about that reader in that world, but I'm thinking about myself in the world, and how I have a right in this world. And so what are the stories I'm going to tell that are going to say that? And I think and I know by extent, it's a hard muscle to
I think I
build.
know.
Like, yeah.
I know.
I
think I know.
I think I kind of know. But how is that story going to impact me so that when I finish writing this book, I feel stronger, I feel different? And then, of course, once you do that, that becomes your reader's journey as well.
I think I think I started differently, because I come from Hawaii, where this tradition is about talking story. You know, it's literally talk story. So you just sit around, you know, boiled peanuts and beer, and you just talk stories. You just tell stories long into the evening and stuff. I love that. I still love that. I live for that. But when I started writing, I was an activist. I was a young activist, and I was given a column in this Asian American weekly published in San Francisco Chinatown. And so I was just writing manifestos, you know, like that 18, 19, 20-year-old, like, you have to do this, you have to do that.
It's
We
like
have to do
it's
this, we
like
have
the
to do that.
voice to text that I get sometimes from boomers, which are like 4 scrolls long. I'm like, no one's gonna read this. I can't get. There's no information here. Just what did he mean to say? Boil it down.
Yeah, they gave me a word count, which was a good thing. But I started that way, and then I had to come back to, like, what you're describing, you know, this idea of well, yeah, you know, the audience for that manifesto is not going to be that big at the end of the day.
What were some of your manifestos?
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
I don't know, you know, the usual whatever dribble, you know.
19-year-old boy, angry boy manifesto.
Angry, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
We all go through it. We all, well, maybe not all of us, but I certainly did, yeah.
Oh yeah. Mine was just in a weird journal. But I'm glad it's missing.
Oh, not on the internet.
No, but we were pre-internet, so that's nice for us.
That every single person in this room is like, wow, yeah.
Yeah.
When you were maybe even younger, though, so what were the stories that stayed with you? What were the things that, or maybe was there a book or an album that made you realize that, like, this is it.
This is sitting with me.
Yeah.
This is staying with me. And I just want you to know, because we read a little bit about some of your favorite music, that yes, in 2023 on Spotify, one of my top albums was The Miseducation of Lauren Hill. It was like that, Low End Theory, and
Low
then
End Theory,
like
yes.
Taylor Swift because of my children, and Bad Bunny
that's
because he's the best. And then, but I was like, wow, I'm really still just stuck. I'm stuck in the 90s.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Anyways, but what? So those are some that
Classic.
stuck with me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not stuck with it.
Yeah.
It's just a classic.
It's just perfect.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's so timeless.
Yeah.
I don't know why Fifth Dimension popped into my head, but like the age of
Wow.
Aquarius, I'm an Aquarian.
Oh, me too.
and when's your birthday?
February 2nd.
Oh, I'm the 12th.
Oh my
so-
God. I knew we were meant to be. Oh, my friend David and I, he's also an Aquarius. February 2nd, and we went
wow.
to Punxsutawney once. Don't recommend it. It's not. But we had a great time. But I've never been colder, and I don't recommend it. Okay.
that's
Anyways, so Age of
funny.
Aquarius, terrific song.
And Stone Soul Picnic, and I remember
Stone Soul Picnic,
Yes,
wow.
I remember talking to Toshi Regan, who I hear is coming here, and who happens to be my best friend. And I'm not, trying to name drop. I'm trying to talk about someone who always talks
sure.
sense back into
Sure,
me.
yeah,
No,
yeah, we see you.
so she was the one who totally unlocked Brown Girl Dreaming for me, and also I was talking about Fifth Dimension, and I was like, what is this song about? Because that's how I learned to read, was like listening to
Yes,
lyrics
yeah.
and deciphering the story. And for that one, like to this day, I'm like, what is that song about? And she's like, girl, they were just high and talking shit. It's like, oh.
Oh, yeah. You know what's so interesting? You were talking about the back of albums, and it's one of the things. So I was going to say a positive thing about Spotify is that the lyrics are now on there, so you're just like a one lady karaoke show all the time. But the other thing is the flip. There's many terrible things about it, so we don't have to talk about it in depth. But one is that it's very hard to get to where any of the credits are,
Yeah.
and to where any of those
interesting.
acknowledgments would be.
Yeah.
And I, as I said, love that stuff. So I still haven't quite. Every time it's like I'm a new person doing it. You know, when you feel like you're born for the first time each time. It's a Bluey episode also for all the toddler parents out there. But that feeling where you're like, wait, how do I see who made this and what inspired them and who were the producers and where the thanks are. And anyways, but you can look up the lyrics and you would probably know from reading them that they were high as fuck. As mashups and there's this famous adage, okay? that books should be mirrors and windows. What mirrors do you hope to build, and what windows do you hope to open for your readers?
Your turn.
Mirrors. Yeah, mirrors into the current moment, I think, you know. Mirrors into getting folks to be able to think through the past in order to comprehend how to act and move in the present. And windows, gosh, I love that too. The idea of being able to, by recounting these tales of what people did, it gives people agency to be able to act in the present as well. The imagination to build something different.
That's so great. It, you know, I just have to say about Jeff, who knows I love his writing and have been a stan forever, as long as you have been writing, is also the window into history. I mean, as our country tries to erase history, the fact that, you know, you're preserving it and making it relevant so that young people don't know, people know that whatever we know today didn't start today. That it's part of a long line of a narrative. And I think, at first and foremost, of course, Mirrors and Windows, in keeping with citing Black women, was Dr. Rudine Sims Bishop, who was who started the whole multicultural children's literature movement out of Ohio State University, and talked about the importance of kids having mirrors so they hear reflections of themselves in the world, and mirrors into other, mirrors, so they saw themselves in the world through literature, and windows into other experiences that they might not ever have. And one thing that's happening with the whole book ban censorship thing is the mirrors and the windows are getting erased, right? Because we don't have these books so that kids can know about the history of this country, because what they're saying is it's too painful for a certain group of kids to bear witness to. Anyway, I can go on, but I'm not going to, because I know time is limited.
Have your books been banned?
Oh, Brown Girl Dreaming, because it talks about the civil rights movement. Red at the Bone, because it talks about the Tulsa Race Massacre. I'm sure Can't Stop, Won't Stop. I'm sure all your stuff is getting challenged because it talks about hip hop. And what they're saying is these books make white kids feel uncomfortable because it paints white people in a bad light. And literally, this is why these books are getting erased. The story of Ruby Bridges, Martin Luther King, all of these stories, all of these books are being pulled from libraries and classroom libraries and curriculum, because people are saying and people, we look at it and we think, oh, Florida, we think Texas, we think Virginia. It's happening here in New York. It's happening in California. I mean, it's happening all over the country.
26 states, I think,
have
passed a ban or are trying to pass a ban. Yeah.
Wow, it's deep.
What do you? Sorry. Now I'm going to do. Oh, hello. I'm going to ask our favorite activist. What are some That's you.
You.
What are effective tools around this right now? How do we fucking deal with this? Because I am spent.
Yeah.
And I also believe that this is the most important thing we can do as human beings, is to read and know history and each other's stories, so that we can learn. We obviously we're human, so we're going to do the same mistakes over and over. That's just what we do. But how can we also have some compassion or understanding or learning? What do we do?
I mean, I'd actually want to ask you, what have been some of the efforts to support you in this?
You know, the problem is that the huge struggle is that librarians and teachers are getting fired when they have books that have been challenged or banned in their classrooms or libraries. So the people who have been the biggest agitators and the activists and the ones who are getting having young people, getting these mirrors and windows to young people, are now basically often afraid for their jobs, right? And these are brave people. I'm not talking about scared people, but times are hard, and
Right.
so we need our income, our employment. And a lot of the places that are challenging are starting to try to separate from the American Library Association, which is the place where we can all come together and talk freely about books. And they're saying, well, we're not a part of you. We don't have to do what you say. And I think Penn is starting to do some work around this, but I think the thing we can do is inform ourselves, is to look to see where these challenges are happening, and we can start with our own schools and libraries. I mean, when my kids were growing up, when I was looking for schools for them, and public schools, the first thing I checked out was the school library and talked to the librarian, and if that library was not diverse, I'm like, my kid isn't coming here, you know, because it's so easy to create a library where your child can see themselves and what's the curriculum and all of that. But, you know, I think we need to do it the same way that other people are doing it, looking at school boards, talking to school boards, getting on school boards, and really starting to agitate around the fact that literature is being literally taken out of our kids' hands. And books that survive, of course, are Nancy Drew, Hardy Boys, and it's like, come on now, y'all, who was that? I didn't want to read that when I was a kid. Like, it was, so it is interesting to look at reading lists, and that was another thing I always do is, did as a parent was, okay, let me see your reading list, and then shook down the teacher who, I remember when my daughter was at Beacon, which is a high school here in the city, and she got her reading list, and there were, no women on it. I was like,
Shut up,
what?
Jacqueline.
What? And so then, of course, I
Was this
complained.
the literature of the humanities at Columbia University? Because it had no women.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no, maybe it had. I do love Pride and Prejudice.
Oh,
So, but that was the only book by one.
The 21st century.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
come
yeah.
into the
It was
21st
the 20.
century.
It was that time, yeah.
So,
Oh, I
so
love
I
the
think
idea of you
we
going
can.
to shakedown teachers.
Yes,
Ugh.
100%.
I'm bringing the shakedown teacher energy
Yeah.
to everywhere
Yeah.
I go now.
I like Professor Jeff energy and shakedown teacher energy.
That's where we're
Yes.
gonna make some
Shakedown Jacqueline.
We're gonna make some novelty teas from this after.
Well, I mean, let's not go that far though, right? Because there are also a lot of teachers who are having to
No, I
get
of course.
support
Yeah,
to
that's
be able
true.
to
That's true.
do what they're doing, and those folks often feel like they are literally left out there in the cold.
Yeah, and they
So,
are 100%.
Yeah.
But the thing I wanted to say is just shouting out like all of these efforts to put the books in people's hands. And so, you know, thinking about these efforts to gather up these banned books, get them to prisoners, get them to the kids, get them to after-school classes and that kind of thing. I invite actually anybody who's listening to this, if you need to get the Can't Stop, Won't Stop YA editions, you know, hit me up, please.
Yeah.
Oh, same.
You know what I mean? Yeah, and I know you've been doing that too. You quietly donate a lot of those types of books out there, but it's the type of thing where we have a lot of power to be able to say that this is what we want.
Right.
In all the ways that Jacqueline was talking about, in all the ways that folks are doing. Like, we don't have to sit there and be like, oh, they're taking it away, they're taking it away. There's no reason for us to be fatalistic. We're the majority now.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's like, let's flex a little bit, you know? And I think that that's what that effort is about, is like these people who want to hold back the tide, right? Who want to like literally push back the change, all the change that's really literally happened over the last 3 decades.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's so, thanks for saying that. My friend Toshi said we're at this point in our country where it's like leaving an abusive lover.
Yeah.
And the more you try to flee, the more violent they get.
Yes.
And that this violence is about that time.
It's very true, but I do think that feeling of I was telling them before this, and I was like, I'm at the precipice of a hole that I'm trying not to fall in. And I think that this is what helps me not fall in. You know, I'm like, oh, we're here. You gave us this platform. We can have these conversations.
And we filled it with books.
Yeah,
Most of them are
and
probably
like,
banned.
and we don't have to. You know, we have some power, and we have control. I mean, not over all the things, but we can, you know, it's not, that doesn't have to just happen at us or something. But I do have, well, okay, go.
Oh, I was just going to say, I mean, we're talking about change and pushing people that are so fearful of change that they're pushing against water, right? Like this inevitable flow that's happening. And I think, Jeff, you know, you are one of, everybody here should know, like the premier and eminent, like, narrative change leaders in the country, people that help change how we tell the story of who we are through stories. And could you just define like what that is, and how can we also use narrative change to help ourselves, to help our communities, and kind of fight back against the forces that wouldn't want us to shine?
Well, I've spent the last couple of days with Viet Thanh Nguyen, who has an amazing talk that he just did last night at Harvard that's going to be on YouTube in a couple of weeks. I want everybody to check it out. But one of the things that he says is, like, you know, a war is always fought twice. It's fought physically, and then it's fought again in people's memories. And part of like what I think you do so wonderfully and brilliantly is to literally stake a place and say, no, like, the memory is not that. The memory is this. And if we can see all of that together, then we have a completely different view of where we're going to be going. So in other words, there's the fight over, there's a physical fight, and then there's the fight over the narrative, right? The larger narrative that we're looking at, and that's what we're in. That's what we've literally been in for the last 5 decades, is this battle over the narrative. And I think now that we have been winning, what we've been seeing is there's this massive backlash, right? You have 25 million people in the streets, right? 2020, 2021. Largest protests in history. And nobody can tell me that there's no line between that and all of the book banning efforts that are going on now, and everything else that's happening, right? But again, we're the majority, right? So what we have to do is to move that narrative forward so that it matches our future as opposed to this imagined past that needs to be restored. And I think that that's part of, once we can recognize that this is the larger thing that's happening, then we get a handle on what it looks like for the rest of the century in the country.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So, you know, we've discussed that we were raised by hip hop. And you've said that hip hop gave you everything. It was your window and your mirror. And Jackie, your memoir is in verse. And I already told Jackie that Jacqueline, that I accidentally wrote a poem in the middle of the night the other night. And then my husband was like, was this inspired by Jacqueline Woodson?
It was really good.
And I thought,
she sent it to me in a shared note, and I was very delighted when I woke up.
I'm a shared note influencer, so. And we know that some of your favorite artists are Talib Kweli, Nas, Lauryn Hill, and of course, Ani DeFranco and the Indigo Girls. I will not sing both hands, but I want to. So how is music reflected in your language and how you write?
So first of all, Talib, I have to tell you a story. There was a bookstore, I don't know if you remember, in Kiru. Yeah, and Talib was a young dad, and he would come in there. He worked there, and he had a young baby, and he would come in, be a dad, and be a bookstore worker. And then the woman who owned the bookstore ended up passing away, and the family was going to lose the bookstore, and he bought it. And I just love that story about him, because he's such one of my literary heroes and music heroes. The minute I sit down...
What if I just put on Miss Vat Booty right now?
I would get up out of the seat. But
That's Black Star, right? It's not just Most.
Yeah, that was Most.
Oh, it was just Most. Oh, I thought it was a Black. Sorry.
That's okay.
But
We're just trying to get
valid.
by.
Yeah, just trying to get
but I put on earphones when I start writing.
Yeah.
And it turned the world it turns the world off. And my work is deeply influenced by music. And so Remember Us, the book that came out this year, takes place in Bushwick during the fires of the 70s. And so the soundtrack was all the music of the 70s. And it just helps me get back into that place. And of course, it informs the narrative. It informs the rhythm of the narrative. But I take off those earphones and I'm back in the world. I put them on, I'm gone.
Oh, I love that.
But can you tell us though too about like because it feels like it's in the lines. It feels like the blues are in your lines and jazz is in your lines and all that kind of stuff. I mean, are you hearing it in the same way that it was for Langston Hughes? Like it feels like.
Yeah, but I think Langston Hughes was more of a musician. Like the minute I open my mouth to sing, someone's telling me to shut up. So I have.
Well, you sing on the page, though.
I know. You know, I had a reviewer who said I had perfect pitch on the page, and I was like, "This is the biggest compliment ever," because no one has. I mean, literally, my son is like, "Mommy, stop singing." Where I think he had more than one gift. Like, but yeah. Yeah, it is.
So nice
it is that rhythm. So you know, in another Brooklyn, if we had jazz, maybe we would have turned out differently. But we didn't have jazz. We had the top hits of the 70s telling our story. And so I'm hearing the rhythm of those words through the music. So it is like if I could sing, I would be singing it, but I can't, so I write it.
Well, I am going to try not to cry. But as I told Rebecca, Paige, speaking of your beautiful lyricism and poetry and how music just sings through your words, page 313 of this book.
This is actually Shabbat services.
Oh my God.
Everyone has to open them and read together.
Even get me started because, you know, I'll just go. But okay, remember this is Amy's copy. Nobody else can touch it. But I was going to read page 313 because to me it was like everything that I personally, if I had been a 15-year-old girl with any talent whatsoever, this is the poem that I think I would have tried to write. And I am just, I think it encapsulates so much of what you have been both saying about hope and change and belief in yourself and belief in what our stories can do. So we have this great privilege here. Jacqueline, would you read it?
It's called Peer Pressure.
Every wish, one dream. Every dandelion blown, each starlight, star bright, the first star I see tonight. My wish is always the same. Every fallen eyelash and first firefly of the summer, the dream remains. What did you wish for? To be a writer. Every heads up penny found and daydream and night dream, and even when people say it's a pipe dream, I want to be a writer. Every sunrise and sunset and song against a cold window pane, passing the mountains, passing the sea. Every story read, every poem remembered. I loved my friend, and when I see birches bend to left and right, and nay, answered the child, but these are the wounds of love. Every memory, Froggy went a-courtin' and he did ride 'em. Brings me closer and closer to the dream.
You have brought us very close to our dreams. So thank you for this. Thank you both for being here. And we're actually going to trap you on the stage with us. But we're just, that's forever.
Oh, wow.
Wow. But it's, you know, life has been lifing, I think, and we are just, like, to your point, Jeff, we know we have some power in our own lives, and this is the way we're exerting it. So thank you for helping us exert our power, and, you know,
thank you for writing,
and
for dreaming, and for being here. Yeah, we're flexing. We're going to practice flexing.
Okay,
thank you so much.
Thank you to Jeff and Jacqueline. Okay. So before we go, we're going to welcome back.
We need a podium.
And Ricardo, who is the best ever. Can you give him a sound? He's going to help us. So we're going to welcome back Julia Stiles with 3 poems to wrap up our evening and our residency at the Greene Space. The poems express all we wanted to do with our time here, which was to fill you with hope and dreams and laughter and love and absolute joy as you go out and face the world. So here is Julia.
Wait, can I say one thing before I read this
Yes.
poem?
Yeah.
Just because I want to do over on my book answer. The Odyssey. I don't even know why I said the Odyssey. It was we were talking about school, so my brain went back there, and like I'm glad I read it and I did enjoy it, but I misunderstood the question, and also so my do-over answer is also. There's another book, and I'm sort of blanking on the name of it. But it's a spin-off of the Odyssey, inspired by the Odyssey. I think it's called Penelopiad. But remember, Penelope's just like sitting there waiting for Odysseus to come back. Boring.
Rude.
But there was a whole other book about what Penelope's experience was, and I just had to throw that in there because.
Yes.
Okay, before we end tonight, somebody's going to Google it, and we'll know the name.
I think it's the Penelopiad.
Okay,
But
since Isadora, can you Google it?
but how great telling
Yeah,
a new
thank
story of like, oh, let's look over at Rosencrantz and Guildenstern.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
I just had
Thank
to
you
say
for
that.
Thank you for that feedback.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Also, I'm 100% going to cry during this, but because this really spoke to me, but I'm going to try not to. Okay. It's Weep Up by Maggie Smith. Yeah, exactly. It's only technically morning. Not even the birds believe it. From her crib, my daughter tries to wake them, saying, weep for wake. Weep up, birds. What else could silence mean to her but sleep? We might be the first awake on our street, the neighbors breathing still, regular, and slow, all the porches lit and moths losing their minds in that light, rising spellbound in the blurry dawn. I become my mother. 20th century sunrise was just like this, sad, soft focus ochre, like an overexposed Polaroid. The sun is just now brimming over the golden edge of the lawn, and the dew begins to sizzle there. In the dark, I hear, weep up, birds, until they do.
We're doing this. We're doing this.
Yeah, little
This is
babies.
it's our coffee house, guys.
Yeah, little kids and the joy. Also, I want to do over reading your poem, Jacqueline, because I wanted the joy and the childhood discovery in there. It's so beautiful. Okay. Why write love poetry in a burning world by Katie Ferris? To train myself to find, in the midst of hell, what isn't hell. The body, bald, cancerous, but still beautiful enough to imagine. Living the body, washing the body, replacing a loose front porch step. The body chewing, what it takes to keep a body going. This scene has a tune, a language I can read, a door I cannot close. I stand within its wedge, a shield. Why write love poetry in a burning world? To train myself in the midst of a burning world, to offer poems of love to a burning world. Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh man, you guys, wow.
I did not put on waterproof mascara.
Oh, good. So I was, okay, it's effective. I did my job. And so did the authors, obviously.
This is for the millennials.
Okay, also, you guys picked this. It would be really weird if I picked it. I didn't pick it.
No, I insisted.
Okay.
Just
And
as
I just was
I
along.
insisted.
I was along for the ride, because you guys are great. A sonnet by Kat Stratford from the film 10 Things I Hate About You, which means it was actually written by Karen McCullough Lutz and Kristen Smith, the screenwriters, the lovely screenwriters.
Speaking of shout-outs.
If I do start crying, I'm not manipulating you. It's for real. I'm not gonna push anything. I hate the way you talk to me and the way you cut your hair. I hate the way you drive my car. I hate the way you stare. I hate your big dumb combat boots and the way you read my mind. I hate you so much it makes me sick. It even makes me rhyme. I hate the way you're always right. I hate it when you lie. I hate it when you make me laugh. Oh my God. Even worse when you make me cry. I hate it when you're not around and the fact that you didn't call, but mostly I hate the way I don't hate you. Not even close, not even a little bit, not even at all. Still the little jitters right there. The emotions are still on the surface.
We love you. We love you all so much.
I have to say,
oh my God.
Thank you for being one of my best people for the last 25 years. And I'm having a hard fall, and sorry, I'm just so grateful to be so loved in such beautiful company. So, what a waste. I'm just so into it. Anyways, I'm so grateful. That's all. No, you can say
I'll
thank
do
you
it.
to
I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll
everyone.
do it. I'll do it.
Thank you.
Pull my shit
Thank you.
together. My God. Okay. Thank you. You guys are all amazing. Jeff Chang, Jacqueline Woodson, Julia Stiles, Adam Gidwitz, Vashti Harrison, and Eric Kim, who were here with us earlier. Thank you to our vendors. Whew, so proud of you. My Darling Washa Candles and the NYU Bookstore, where you should still shop afterwards. The Greene Space team, who has been so incredible this whole fall. Ryan, Jennifer, Amber, Ricardo, Kate, Eric, Christina, Dalila, Chase, Melissa, and Kay. Sari Lair, who is here, who helped curate all of our kids' books today. I have snot running down my face, oh my God. The Mashup Americans team, who has been instrumental in making this whole fall and just everything happen. Shelby Sandlin, Nicole Kelly, Donna Sutt, and Sarah Pellegrini. Finally, our families, Gabriel Bermeo, Neil Alger, and our kids and all of you. That's a wrap. Thank you.
Amy and Becca.